your problem.
No, it's yours now. He's going to lean on him and indicate that he will be taking his arm so he doesn't die on the way up the tunnel.
Do I see this?
Yeah.
How do I
Yeah,
feel?
can I
Like,
roll-
on a scale of 1 to 10, how sick do I feel watching
I was gonna
this?
say, can I roll for noticing sexual tension?
This fills you with dread.
To clarify, the dread is not because they are gay. For anyone listening to this conversation. Okay.
Quan is not ally, Quan is a foe.
Oh god.
Hello everybody and welcome. We're D&D Boyband, a group of friends that all like to play D&D Pretty Boys because apparently it's not fantasy unless everybody's hot and wearing sunglasses or an only mask, apparently. My name is Jamie and joining me tonight are a group of fantastic D&D players. First of all, we have Ben as Mercy.
I'm going to change up my introduction now in new spirit. May thy knife chip and shatter.
Ali Sanagaib.
Sai as Kwan.
Hello, friends.
Blued as Casimir.
You are my specials.
Eski as Pod.
Hello.
Luke as Arvis.
Make money and get bitches.
Oh, okay. And possibly for the final time, Matt as special guest Atlas.
Good evening. I may or may not be melting tonight.
Can you not? With one.
You have one.
It's a
Before we
seven.
begin, I don't think we have any announcements.
No, I ain't got shit to say.
Okay, so last session was pretty much entirely combat dominated as you realized that the 4 Aarakocra Guardian statues around would only be activated if you were walking on the floor, and that the central area with the lantern was safe, protected by water that seemed enchanted to push people away. Through a surprising amount of damage tanked by Mateus, chasing Razor across, you were able to bring her down. Quan sucking her soul out of her body by a word of power. And it was at that point where you'd won. However, Malik calculated incorrectly that his party and team would join him, and that you were all weakened enough that despite dropping Quan and Casimir immediately, you also killed Malik. Both Brom and Fazul and Goat seemingly did not take his side. Afterwards, you have attained the Whirlwind Lantern, which I believe Quan and Goat are currently holding in the center, with Goat having warned you that it is on loan, or you have persuaded Goat that they shouldn't just take it and go, or try to take it and go. I believe there was a persuasion roll last session. So the current setting you are all in is this. You are all, as dressed up as you are in real life, exhausted after battle. You're like the Aarakocra statues lie in rubble around you. There is a swirling wind around this room, and you can still hear the water going. Above you, you know that the Goliath children, as well as the mercenaries you hired, and members of Mercy's Order, await you. Down here, Fazul, Brom, Goat are with you, and their allegiances, seemingly, are aligned with yours. It's difficult to get fully back into the post-battle stress and tension, but you all have a sigh of relief, a wave, you're all hurting, but for now, combat is over. Razor's body lies still on the floor. D&D Boyband, back to you.
Yeah, maybe I should put the Prosecco down, huh?
I think Goat is
I'm
with
having a
Quan.
costume change.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
So
on.
Goat's like holding the lantern with Quan, and I guess they're both just kind of looking at it, and then she kind of tweets or twoots, or whatever the verb is. So, is it doing something?
Lantern. The lantern feels warm to the touch, as a very powerful magical object would, slightly hums, but Quan holding it, nothing. Quan, you
Oh,
don't
no,
feel
she-
the energy inside you.
She was talking
as
to
you hold
Quan.
energy. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Well, I don't feel anything. Uh, I'm not sure if there's some kind of incantation or. But he just looks completely lost. I'm not sure if I should be doing something.
Your friend said you were going to explode.
Vazul and Brom at this look over. Vazul kind of crosses his arms to Quan and says, "What on earth is going on?"
Oh, Fazul, my ally, the Goliath, half giant friend of mine, said that this paladin needed the lantern because he was going to explode, and well, just asking Quan about that.
Oh, fun! He's going to explode of fun! Comes Casimir's voice, and he's stuck in the central island. Is the water still looking dangerous, DM, or does that look safe to wade through?
No, the water looks dangerous.
No, could you help
there is
me
the
get
ice
over?
bridge. There is the ice bridge.
Oh, okay, fine.
I think that melted.
He's walking over the ice bridge. Quan is
Deception check.
fine. Deception, did you say?
Yeah, you can make a deception check, which Fazul's going to roll perception on Quan as he looks him up and down.
That's not ideal. 13.
Fazul looks Quan up and down, sees the various bits of like white energy escaping from Quan's form.
I guess Pod would run up and he'd be like, okay, so we got the lantern a lot faster than, well, at least I expected. I mean, that's great. That's before, like, 1 day, 2 days. I can't remember how long it was. But either way, we got to figure out how to use this.
Mm-hmm. And
I
Casimir's
thought the
gotten
plan
quite...
was to use. I thought the plan was to use it as a energy sink for the thing. The incident, the problem.
Pod just goes, okay, so I did this once. We just got to move it from here to over here. And it keeps repeating the movement. Here to here. Here.
Just spit in it or
What-
something, Quan. See what happens.
What energy?
Um,
Brom like throws his thing down. More secrets from the paladin.
It's
He's
not
a mysterious
so much
guy.
it's not so much
Wait.
a secret. It's like a, and he kind of his
Quan-
eyes kind of dart around as he's
Hang on.
kind of a little bit awkward
Well,
about it.
I kind of gave
we should
you
talk
because
about
I thought you knew what to do with it. I thought one of you would use it to save your friend, and then you'd give it back.
Well, that's the plan. It's
We
just...
will-
It may be more than a 2-minute deal. It might require... I might need to look at it.
So-
I'm an arcanist. I could look. Pod could move it from here to
Okay.
here. Or,
Okay, and
Look,
go
we
tries
know,
to like
we know
reach out and take it.
theoretically what to do. We just don't know practically what to do.
Just is anyone down, by the way, still?
No, everybody's up.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
go try and
Well,
hand the lantern to Casimir. If
Yeah, sure.
Quan lets go of it.
I'm going to assume the answer's yes.
He's like, okay, have a look at it. What do you think? Do you need to say some sort of magic words? Usually an incantation of some sort.
DM. Okay, right. It's blood magic, right? That Quan has stuck inside him, the souls of many.
Yeah.
One of my class features is vitality shift, which is shifting literally that exact energy from one place to another. Do I feel like if I tried to start the flow from Quan into this, it would be like opening a dam? Do I feel like there is some way that, or like some roll I could make, see if I could get a sense of whether or not that might help in this moment?
So you could I'll definitely let you roll to do that. I'll say it'll be an Arcana check.
Okay. Very good. Very good. We are proficient in that already. That's good. Okay, that's 14 plus some numbers. Plus 8, 22.
Yeah, no, you theorize that could work, but the potential issue would be all of that energy. You would be acting as a conduit for that. It wouldn't be moving it from one. It'd be moving through you into the lantern. You are perhaps concerned about what that would do to you.
Okay, and is there any other interaction with the lantern I could think of as somebody versed
If I
in this sort of
detect
thing?
magic on the lantern, what type of magic is it?
Evocation magic. Sorry, doesn't make you repeat your question.
Okay, so that route doesn't necessarily work, but is there any other way of interacting with it and Quan I could think of? Like someone quite, well, not totally understanding what this kind of magic is, but at least with some experience of it?
Yeah, I think that like normally the way like you could theorize this working is that this magic essentially needs to be drawn to somewhere. There needs to be some way of drawing it out of Quan into the lantern. Now, how that would be achieved could be via the vitality shift. However, what you might think is you need some way of either fortifying yourself or another thing that could almost act as like almost act as like grounding you, like an electricity current, some way bolsters you.
I mean,
Or that you need some way to prompt the process starting.
I guess he'll kind of try and paraphrase this back to everyone, or specifically to Goat, to Quan. Maybe if Brom and Fazul look at him, he'll just sort of skirt around the topic, but he's just sort of trying to convey, well, I mean, I have some ideas. I'm not necessarily sure it would be safe to do immediately. It might be a over time thing, I hate to say it, Quan. Maybe I need more resource. Maybe I need, honestly, some support. Somebody else who could, help, or some other way to protect myself. I mean, I could do it. I just might vaporize, and that would sort of defeat the point.
A very exhausted Pod pats you on the back and goes, I'm here, and he gives you guidance. It's like you can see he almost feels strained, even providing guidance.
Oh.
He's so exhausted.
Mm.
He looks incredibly willing to help, but like you can tell he's absolutely out of all energy. He's barely standing at this point.
Yeah, your help would be instrumental, Pod, but honestly, I fear that right now... And he kind of, like, his eyes slide down to his chest, where Malik's bolt is just stuck straight through his shoulder and just hasn't moved. Maybe it's, Quad, if you don't feel like you're going to erupt from joy anytime soon, maybe it's a later deal. Do you feel any worse? Any better?
Casimir, I actually do have some experience moving the kind of energies you're talking about. Perhaps we could discuss how you were to approach this and how I might possibly be able to assist you.
It's Oni Mask Mercy.
Yeah.
Alright, let's put our heads together. I don't know, how pressing does it feel, Paladin?
How much worse do I feel, DM, since the beginning of the fight?
It's weird because like it's both. Quan is standing there, and as you're having this conversation, you see Quan's wounds healing, kind of knotting as this energy goes around it. And Quan, you feel better and better, but there is certainly a tiredness inside you that isn't being that euphoric energy you feel almost all the time. Somewhere within you, it feels as though your being is more tired and strained than it should be, and you're being pushed to the limit. I'd say that the battle, what that did to you, felt as if everything from now on is going to be harder. But it doesn't feel as though you're about to keel over or explode. It feels as if you're able to contain the energy and you're winning that fight, but that fight is a never-ending battle.
I feel tired, certainly. I can't really tell if I'm going to, and he looks over at us all. I don't feel in control of it. It's difficult. It feels difficult to hold it. I couldn't say.
Right. Well, whenever you are going to express your positive feelings, let us know. And if you feel like you can hold on till then, we'll do our best in the meantime. Myself, Mercy, Pod, all of us. Until we can think of a way to do this safely. Just keep us immediately informed. I'll even forgive you for waking me up out of my beauty sleep.
Very generous. I will do my best.
I was like, I'm sorry, we just nearly died. What is happening? I'm going to need an explanation. Do I need to leave? Is this the type of thing where I might just not wake up tomorrow? Out with it.
I imagine the party looks like guilty kids with their hands caught in a cookie jar.
Why are we lying to them? I will just say, I don't understand. I
almost nods
I feel
in
like it's
agreement,
unnecessary.
It's in my nature. I'm sorry. Fair enough.
Right.
Pod almost looks as if like a weight has been lifted off of him, and he goes, "Okay, so we found the source of all the blood magic," and he kind of almost pauses as if he's waiting for them to say something about that.
Yes.
We
You destroyed
smashed
it. That's what you said.
I blew
But
it up.
that was a
Yes.
lie.
Yeah. No.
It was not a lie. No. We did destroy it. However, we managed to channel it into the paladin.
You challenged it into Quan here.
And he should have been
And-
vaporized. Anyone
Yes.
on Lakai. There should be enough energy to vaporize Abaddon themselves. And yet Quan is just sat there, as pleasant and docile as he ever has been.
Well, he's just
That's again, that's a little bit of a lie, Casimir. You said he might explode.
Well, I had no idea what I was talking about. I sort of just pulled it out of my arse because I wanted to crack on with killing Raven.
What you were talking about.
I must point out that there was no we in the chanting. It was Pod.
It was Pod, yes. I actually, for once, had nothing to do with it.
Brom
It
crosses his
was-
arms,
yes, it was
just looks even more annoyed at Possible, just stares directly into Quan and says, holding back anything else? Jog your memories? How you can absorb this power?
I honestly haven't really thought much about it, aside from the fact that I am very grateful to Tyr that I'm still alive.
Can I
Frankly.
insight check that?
Sure.
Right?
Mercy looks suspiciously. 22?
Juan looks like he's desperately trying to hold it all together. He is clearly not okay. He looks like he might cry at any given moment and is acting fine, but definitely isn't. And you can tell he has not given a single thought as to why the things might have happened. He's just trying not to imminently die.
Okay. Mercy's like, Ron, I can see that you're still very much resentful and angry about the death of Grudel, which you blame Quan here for, which is to some degree understandable. But I must ask that you reserve it for now, because this man is clearly suffering.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. My persuasion is 0.
Yeah.
Nice.
checks.
That one. A natural one.
It's a natural 1.
Brom
Yeah.
just punches.
I'm so
Brom
sorry.
just
I'm
stares
so
directly
sorry.
at Quan.
I've made this worse.
And there is like face just completely glowers over. Silence. Angry silence. And
Okay.
like almost whips round and like as he's walking away, begins to walk away, says, "When his secrets are revealed, I'm sure you'll all understand what I mean when I say he is not to be trusted."
Matthew
Well, I'm
looks
glad we're all
surprised.
getting along.
A little sunshine paladin, please. He's the most obnoxiously trustworthy person I've ever met.
Is Brom still there?
Yeah. He's trying to dramatically walk off, but you can stop him.
He's
Quad
only
says,
got little legs.
well, do tell me if you find any of my secrets out. I would love to know them. Honestly, I would.
Bron probably looks very confused. Just like, where did you say you were from?
Do I know where I'm from?
No, you can make it somewhere up if you want. Doesn't matter.
You wouldn't know of it. Probably.
I will find what you're hiding. And when I do, I'm going to expose you.
Now he's taking the death of his boyfriend. Not well, still.
Bazul just kind of sighs and says, "Oh, fuck off, Brom."
Speaking of the death of people, his eyes are going to rest on Malik, and the corners of his lips are going to quirk upwards. He's going to look at Bazul and say, "And I suppose we really are even with this one. I mean, you killed my cat, and now I've killed your cat."
Bazul actually laughs. You know, you won. We weren't going to win. Turns out he's not as smart as he thought. And he kind of kicks Malik's corpse over
No, imagine
and
thinking
spits
you
on
could
it.
best us. What did we say before we fought, by the way? Was it, "May the best man win"? Is that me out of the two of us?
No, it's clearly somebody else. And Bazul looks over with like a very mixed amount of emotions at Quan.
Yeah, and you know, I think Casimir's kind of smile doesn't fade from his face, but I think maybe he kind of has the same expression in his eyes as Bazul when he looks over at Quan, and he just sort of says, "Oh, hate it when you're right." He will.
Wait, sorry. What did he just say about me?
So Casimir said, "I think we said the best man was going to win. Does that mean Casimir's the best man?" And Bazul's went, "Yes, but I think that's somebody else." And I think they're both looking at Quan with quite a mix of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of mixed emotions?
Insight check.
You can make an insight check.
Okay.
Hey, I'm DMing here.
Yeah, raw.
While these three develop a complicated love triangle.
I'll say
I'm
I'm
gonna go
bridled
over-
lust.
Yeah.
All right, boys. How low do we think it's going to be?
Oh.
That's 2.
Very low.
So,
Simon's strong.
they're both
Simon's
looking
strong.
at you, and you just can't read them. It's
Concerned.
too many
We're
emotions.
so concerned.
Right.
Solid roll
Quan's palms are sweating. He's looking at everyone, looking at him. He has no idea what to say. He's just anxiously looking around, not saying anything.
Arvis
Atlas.
probably pipes
Oh,
up
sorry.
at that point. And he goes to pat you on the shoulder before he remembers your disposition and goes, mate, don't take any notice of that rat bastard. If anything, we've done him something of a favour of not telling him. Imagine going into a fight knowing we were fighting next to a ticking time bomb.
Vazul looks over at all of you and is like, "Yes, imagine not telling your allies crucial pieces of information before a fight."
You're
Yeah.
whining, mate. You're only whining.
Ends justify the means. You're fine. Look at you. You actually are fine. Did you do anything that fight, or did you just sort of run around?
Basil looks over at like the golem he killed.
I killed one too.
think
Don't get too excited.
Well, Zul, you remember that thing that Malik told us? You know, there were things that we didn't share, and so we all have our secrets, don't we?
I guess we do. Does he know you as Mercy, or is this the first time
what?
he's seen you as Mercy? Or what? Who you currently disguised as? Or are you Mercy?
Atropos? Oh, no, I'm speaking as Goat.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Sorry, my confusion. Yeah. We won.
Yes,
You
we
won,
did.
but we're alive.
Holy shit. I'm rich.
Quite. So,
I will.
Brom has gone.
I just want to walk over to Razor's body and unceremoniously grab her by an ankle and sling her over one of my shoulders.
Atlas. This victory is probably tinged with a little bit of sadness.
Hmm.
There is a sound. Throughout the wind, a voice slowly growls. We'll talk later. Only you
Gosh.
can hear this.
Words you don't want to hear.
My debt has come due, it seems. As I'm just going to sling Razor over and walk back to the party. Which of you uses a bow? She had one on her. Reeks of Talos.
I'm sure one of us can figure it out. Can't be that hard. Just sort of put an arrow in it and ping the string.
Sure. I'll chuck the bow towards Casimir.
Just pick the stuff up. Yes. And I guess if this is our looting moment, I want to thoroughly case Malik's pockets. I want to see if he has any letters that he should not have from people associated with certain writings to my mother in episode 1. Or any some such machinations.
If you remember, you have nat 20 burned him. So I'm going to need an investigation check if any of that survived.
Oh my god.
Would you like help, and thus the help action for advantage?
I would like some help. Yeah.
You receive help from your party member and companion Arvis.
I would like my demolitions expert Arvis to help me with the jarred corpse.
I've seen plenty of these before, mate.
Me too. Ooh, okay, we needed that one. That was an 8 that turned into a 17 with a total of... Oh, I have proficiency. It is 25.
25. Okay. Much of Malik's personal items do remain. Much of them refer to the plan for the Stormlands once this is all complete. He is in fairly lengthy negotiations about what were to happen. Mostly, it's around... I'm going to check my notes to remind myself of the name of this. Apologies. So I'll move on to other stuff. I'll come back to this. So like for the Creditors Federation, mostly it's their plans for the Stormlands once they take over and what they want to do with it. And it's basically, they believe Residium, I think is what I ended up calling it. They believe there are potentially swathes of that here. A very valuable resource that is basically a universal reagent. There are also, he was aware and was communicating with both the Queen of the Elves, Queen Rotariel, as well as the Storm Giants in this area, attempting to find allies. There was the letter about Ivor Montague on his person.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly not sent.
Good. I will take all of the letters.
There are also his personal reports on each of you.
Ooh. I'm going to take that all for my politicking dossier later.
Do you want to know his... did you read his notes to the party?
Probably on the way back. Maybe it's not priority right now because he's got a crossbow bolt sticking out of his shoulder. and looks like he's gonna vomit keel over. Blood probably every time he speaks, just like trickles out of his mouth. And he's like, you get the sense that Casimir, as a necromancer, probably causes harm to himself enough in his magic that he can kind of take it, but he doesn't look very healthy. So maybe he'll just do the looting and do the reading later. But he does look like he's going to pass out on 1 HP at any moment.
Yeah. So I'll say important bits of information are ultimately the fact, like, you know that the Predators Federation originally became rich by buying and selling Rizjum, but the areas near the Limitless Horizon and the Preserver, the Cradle of Eternity, are running low on supplies. They're looking for more. This was going to be one of their expansion things. He was engaged in communication with the Queen of the Elves to stop her support for Razor, as well as the Giants to stop it. And he's got the personal scouting report on all of you, that the information that the Predators Federation and other people have. That's the information which that one I'll go through in a second. I gave everybody the items that were found on Razor and Malik. Malik is the one with the dice. So to, I think, read that out, let me just... So you guys can decide what you're doing with the loot. So the relic, which I redeemed my points for, is Talos' Contained Fury, Razor's Bow, a weapon that will grow stronger as you unlock or do certain things with it, if anybody chooses it. I appreciate it's not necessarily anyone super proficient in. The Whirlwind Lantern itself, a Hunter's Coat, which is a +1 to AC, and you can use it to do extra damage, a Ring of Protection +1, and the Fate dice. I will post those stats in the Discord for all of those. But you may all, as you are attempting, as you look through this room, I know we had a chat about it earlier, those are the items you find that are worth distributing around. There are obviously, Malik has daggers and a coat, and Razor has a short sword, but none of those probably, unless you're taking them to sell, are particularly interesting in terms of upgrades for any of you.
Okay. I imagine we'll take it all, and in the trip back, we'll sort of distribute and what have you.
Okay.
Did the Blood Mages have anything? It was their spellbook, wasn't it?
Their spellbooks predominantly.
Yeah. Okay.
You're only level 5. So. Only. Anything else anybody wants to talk to or say to each other? Mercy, can you make your rolls, your weave rolls?
Sure. I don't particularly know what I'm looking for. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Just your connection to the weave.
10. 67.
We said higher was better, right?
Yeah.
Your connection to the weave is in somewhat... It feels as though the Death of Razor has restored some element of the weave to what it should be. What's consistently been concerning for you, though, Mercy, is those strands that connect you to the weave that previously didn't are still there. And however reflective you want to be about that is something that I will leave with Ben to think about, Mercy.
Have they changed at all? Since the last time that I saw them?
Yeah. They're not... This time as well, you seem closer to it. They led from you to it, and each time you observe them, you're kind of being almost like pulled in closer and closer.
Okay.
Rather than being detached.
Okay. Do I see Quan at all?
Yes. Quan is a beacon.
Yeah.
Currently.
A similarly huge destiny.
You notice
reason?
You notice that it's not just that Quan is a beacon that you see. There are other strands in the weave that seem to be beginning to reach out towards Quan.
Okay. And I didn't see that before.
No.
Okay. Cool. I will ponder these divinings.
I would say as well, if you look, do you look for anybody else?
Yeah. If I can, now that I guess, the fog has rolled away, I'll look at, all the immediate people that I can see around me, I suppose.
I'll say the only thing you notice that's perhaps noticeable is that Atlas's weave is coming to an end.
Yeah. Shrug. Everyone has their time. Mercy cares nothing.
Wow.
Did Mercy actually just
Insane.
oh no anyway?
Oh no.
It's got the
Anyway.
character. Yeah, basically. Yeah, they just ponder it. Death is part of the design, and yeah. Atlas already had his life, so he just sort of, kind of sad, kind of content, accepting like an old parent or something. Just sort of ponders these things.
Re-death in my case.
Re-death. Should be a word for that.
So, anything anybody's doing other than taking everything up outside of this temple with the girl with the lantern?
I think he probably demands someone carries him up, but I think he's happy to leave.
The water still looks dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Never mind.
Well, DM, there was a couple of things. One was I wanted to have a look at those gems I got from the golems last time, see if they were of any particular value. And then there also was the fact that I'm in also quite a special temple would be to see if I could also find anything more interesting.
Make an investigation check.
With pleasure. All right, let's roll that bad boy. What does that come out as? It's a 24 for investigation.
Nice.
Okay. So the large rubies you have from the golems are certainly worth something. They are slightly magical.
I do also have proficiency in a jeweler's kit.
Oh, so you know the value.
Not too sure actually. To find out what that does.
Fine, I can tell you. I can tell you. They're probably worth about 1,000 each. You've got 4 of them.
Four. Ooh, that's good.
They are potentially have some magical qualities, but I don't think you'd notice them just from a physical check. The temple itself, however, there's some gold inlay. There's a couple of the Aarakocra statues and stuff have kind of using gems and stuff for eyes.
Wait,
Yeah.
Goat's at the sight of Arvis doing this. Goat comes over and it's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Who came over, sorry?
Oh.
The Aarakocra.
What do you fucking mean, mate?
What are you doing, Ratman?
Rat man. I don't know if you know I have a fucking name, bird boy.
I'm a girl.
You heard what I said, bird boy. You better change your fucking name.
You better put those gems back.
Back where, mate? Okay.
Back in those statues that I just watched you take them from.
Statues, mate. Do you mean those piles of rubble on the floor that had a part in them trying to destroy us and cause our demise?
I don't think you are the outsider. Okay? This belongs to my people. Other bird boys. You can't have them.
Well, listen, mate, let's call it compensation for the attempt on my life by your people's infrastructure.
No, let's not. Let's call what I see as a burglar. Do you know what we do to burglars? Well, probably not very much, actually.
Apparently, in a Scottish accent, purple burglar alarm is the hardest possible thing you can try and say.
Purple burglar alarm.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Purple burglar alarm.
Purple burglar alarm.
Burglar alarm. Listen, mate, I've been doing this a while. This is one fair and square. If those gems didn't want to be taken, they shouldn't have attacked me and made an attempt on my life.
what kind of reckless greed do you have? You're about to get 10,000 gold. Malik told me what the stakes for this fucking contest of yours were. Is that what this is to you? A contest for money? And you're here plundering
I'm
the
a
ancient
professional.
temples of my
You've seen what a
ancestors.
professional can do. You're a benefactor of my skill sets, a benefactor of my time, and a benefactor of my labour. All right, mate.
I admit that you did have a part in Razor's demise, I suppose. So I'm going to be generous to you and say that I'm going to look the other way if one of those goes missing. But I better see 3 fucking rubies in that rubble when I turn around again, or we're going to have issues. And she's like talking loudly at this point.
Right you are. If you're going to be such an insufferable pain. And Arvis makes his way over to the rubble, and he bends down into the rubble. And I'd like to make use of one little ability I have here as an artificer. It's called magical tinkering. So I'm going to get 3, let's say ruby-sized pieces of rock, and I'm going to make them appear to be 3 rubies. I'm going to cover their surface in a slightly reflective, light-shedding, visual static effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does Go have
they
to make
glow?
some sort of
I can
check
do that.
against this, Jamie?
Yeah, I imagine
Or
so.
is it just a straight up they believe that-
What's it called? Magical tinkering, right?
Magical tinkering, yeah. There isn't anything. A static visual effect appears on one of the object's surfaces. It can be a picture up to 20 words, text, lines, shapes, a mixture of the elements as you like. Can spread bright light in a 5-foot radius if you want. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say it's similar to an illusion. So you can make a check against Arvis's spell DC.
Okay.
Usually
Let's do a-
investigation, but
Yeah.
Investigation from Goat. 9. I assume that fails.
Yeah. You think
Okay.
that Arvis has put them back.
Cool. Okay. So the shifty. Alright. Goat, but ultimately believes that
Sorry, Goat, yeah.
he has some decency, so he hasn't robbed her temple. So then it's like nodding and saying, fine. Okay. But no more looting, okay?
all right, I promise. Well, I promise is a strong word, and in my line of business, it's not a word we use terribly often. It's a very porous word. What I will say is I will commit to paying my respects is satisfactory and as is appropriate for the venue.
Good. You don't want to find out what an Aarakocra paladin looks like.
You're right, mate. I have no interest.
Alright. She like nods and goes back to talking to Bron. Or whoever.
Yeah. Well, Brom's gone. But just FYI.
Fizzle.
Okay.
Juan.
Fizzle, yeah. Okay.
Maybe
Yes.
on the way out, I assume we're leaving at this point.
Yes.
Kind of like half delirious and sort of like swaying all over the place. Maybe just like walking next to Fazul on the way up to him. I think he'll just quietly say, "Why didn't you turn on us? You could have. You might have killed us all, you know. Malik being in charge, he might have helped you get ahead of your evil brother. And I'd tell you to win at any costs. What changed your mind?"
Fizzle takes a second. And thinks. Winning wasn't the point of me coming here. Getting stronger was. And Malik didn't help me in that. Looks at Atlas, looks at you, looks at, and kind of like half looks at Quan. I know who's going to do that for me. And it wasn't the cat.
Oh. Kind of just vaguely looks off. Doesn't say anything else.
I'm surprised Brom didn't turn, though.
He doesn't
I think
like-
Brom was on something else.
doesn't much like the paladin, does he?
No.
I get it. It's frustrating, I suppose. Working hard as we do, not even be able to scratch the surface of what Quan just is.
I'm as curious as Brom as to why.
You and me both, Zool. You and me both. But if it's any
Both probably staring at it.
just staring at Quan's back with various expressions.
Alright, haters. Jesus fucking Christ.
But you know, if it's any consolation, I'm not necessarily sure I'd trade places with him at the moment. I pulled it out of my arse, but I really don't know how long he has to live. And it's not particularly of his own doing either. I feel whether he lives or dies is almost not up to him, and he doesn't even know why.
Suppose I better use him while I can.
I was just starting to elevate my opinion of you, you know.
Kind of looks at you slightly confused. Not getting familiar with him, are you?
You jealous?
No, just... not like you.
It isn't, is it? I suppose one can't travel with people like Juan, Elara, Pod. Obnoxiously nice people, as I say, on a daily basis, without it sort of infecting me somewhat. Though I'm not sure it suits me particularly.
Well, don't turn soft.
Maybe just for today. I'm sort of, you know, points again at the bolt. I don't really want to take it out until someone has healing magic at the ready, you know.
Still goes to rip it out.
You do this, I'm going to suck your life energy out of your body to power mine.
Make an intimidation check.
It's a bit of a like, do it and I will vitality shift you. That's a 21. This dice is
Okay, he stops. Stops and says, "Your problem." Just kind of, yeah.
No, it's yours now. He's going to lean on him and indicate that he will be taking his arm so he doesn't die on the way up the tunnel.
Okay, this all seems intensely awkward by this interaction,
Good.
but allows it to happen. As you're all walking, anything else anybody wants to talk about, or
Do I see this?
yeah,
How do I
Yeah,
feel?
can I
Like,
roll-
on a scale of 1 to 10, how sick do I feel watching this?
it's incredible. As difficult and tired as you are, this pierces through you in a way that isn't just disgust. Something is wrong about what you see. Something is intensely wrong. And that's mirrored, actually, Mercy, by a sense of rightness that you feel.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I roll for noticing sexual tension? But I guess I notice it and feel satisfied, and I'm like, ah, good, things are as they should.
Yeah,
Can't
but
believe
like,
Kwan's homophobic.
You're such
so
a hater.
Quan, this is like
roll for satisfaction.
Quan, this is like
Well, put it down for the
existentially
religious
disgusting
zealot,
to
right?
you.
Sorry, what was that, DM?
Existentially disgusting to you. And it's not disgusting's the wrong word. Worrying. This fills you with dread.
Okay.
Soon they'll be legal.
Oh,
Oh god. Oh god.
Christ.
Jesus.
So,
To clarify, the dread is not because they are gay. For anyone listening to this conversation. Okay. I will not let you guys put me in the shit.
Oh my god.
Quan is not ally, Quan is a foe.
have you stopped being a homophobe?
Okay, shut
Once
I'd say, and to perhaps give some clarity to that, it's dread, and it's an overwhelming feeling of concern for Casimir that this union isn't what Casimir needs.
Okay, let's not use the word union. That's too strong, Jamie. Okay.
We're not getting married, man. This is
We're definitely
transactional.
not calling it a civil
Yeah, I know.
union, because that would be a step too far.
This friendship, this alignment, this whatever that is, you know that it leads Casimir down a path that for some reason you know is wrong.
This dating
About
sim route
fortified-
only has a bad ending, is what you're saying.
How about fortified relationship?
Fortified relationship.
That sounds right.
So,
Frenemies with benemies.
anything else from anybody?
No.
Cool. You get to the top, and Chedley, his troop, the Goliaths, the ones you rescued, the children, are all preparing. We're not going to go through the bridge again. You guys get over the bridge. You find an easier way out.
Mm.
Goat flies you over one by one.
Oh,
Says this is a lot easier if you have wings, isn't it?
thank you. goats.
And you get to the top. There's no sign of Razor's lieutenant or any of the men you left up here.
Oh no, how did that happen? How
Oh, no.
terrible.
We definitely did not see that coming.
Niall is uncertain when questioned where they are or what happened to them. Cyril is there, Satemi, and they all run up and give Heartless like a huge hug. People are still there. Chedley kind of comes over. I'm glad you survived. No one came out. Our payment, please.
Who the fuck is this guy? Oh shit, yeah, it's you. Completely forgot about you. I don't have any money. I don't know what we were paying you with. We were paying you with exposure to the elements.
It's 50 gold pieces is what you promised.
Oh, right.
Chetley is the mercenary guy that the Weaver lad hired, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Mercy will pay them. Or Mercy will take the money off that kid and pay them.
Yeah. Sorry, just quickly running through notes. Yeah, just smiles and says, "Wonderful doing business with you. The Blackwater bounty is always at your service. However, we must be heading home. I trust your battle was successful. The Stormlands are free.
If it wasn't, we wouldn't be here.
Well, one never likes to presume. You could have run away. Jorin, I believe this.
Sorry, DM. Who is this? I'm being
Right.
distracted by people calling me a homophobe in the chat.
Hold
It's
on,
like
hold on.
shipping
Initiate-
You
wars.
are not your character. You are your own person. Don't
Initiate
be
Jorin,
put into that
who is a
box.
member of Sabras's order, hired these people, and you hired them to guard the top to make sure no one came out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm with you now. Yep.
Yeah. Wonderful to do business with you all. Thank you. Drop by if ever you're in Blackwater. Might have a job for you or two.
No. Good luck on your journey back to Storm Harbor. You should take the west route through the lower mountain pass. I believe that you will meet your intended tide on time that way.
Ah. Thank you. Most kind of the warning. Jorin says, yes, our business is concluded. I am glad that the aberrant has been sheared, and kind of slightly bows before.
Oh shit, didn't these
Mercy.
guys see that Mercy was connected to the weave? Don't we need to
Yes.
kill
Is-
them?
Was Jorin implying that he's leaving with them?
No. Jorin's not leaving.
Okay, alright, cool. Yeah. Then I just let him chatter
So
away.
our business is concluded with the mercenaries.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Otherwise, Atlas, yeah, your people are all there looking at you. What happened down there?
Well, I've got Razor's body slung over my shoulder, so I'm just kind of like, just on the ground in front of them.
They like let up a cheer and like will come up and like hug you. The ones you like high fiving. The guys are very happy. Like so, Temi comes up and gives you a hug. The kids
We got
aren't
it,
here.
boys!
The kids aren't here. Alara's nearby. You do need to go get Alara a couple of
Ladies and
times.
gentlemen.
I would say somebody gonna go get Alara.
I think we all go get Alara, don't we? We need to tell her she's the queen.
Yeah.
Queen.
Ilara, after some time, comes back down and everyone, you're all alive, and like runs up and goes to hug Quan.
Alara's coming to
yeah.
hug me.
Yeah.
I am gonna definitely step away and avoid the hug, given that I might burn her. Burn
She
her
kind of like,
if she tries to touch me.
she kind of takes a second,
feel
like,
like you're
focus-
burning her this
looks
way
at
as
your
well.
like injuries and like, looks around at all of you, sees like the arrow poking out. Oh god, you're all so hurt, please, and like takes off a potion and immediately gives it to Casimir and one to Quan.
Much obliged. My liege, I suppose. Congratulations on your imminent coronation.
She looks down, sees Razor dead. You did it. You did it. We did it. You did it.
As far as
Where's
the
Malik?
world knows, you did it. I killed Malik.
Malik's not.
No, you didn't.
He fell in the battle. Malik fell in the battle.
Quan killed him.
No,
No,
I did. I did kill Malik.
No. Quan killed Razor.
Oh wait,
Oh,
Oh,
Shit,
I
sorry.
killed a lesbian. Quan is a.
Mere gambit.
Well.
Oh,
Weird character arc you decided for Quan here, Les.
yeah.
Really interesting choice. I'm really excited to see where this goes.
The straight white
God.
male strikes again.
I will have you know he is not white, but yeah.
White passing.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, you're banned. Go fucking think about your actions.
Pod's still here. Eski has a timeout.
We're trying to time him out without breaking the overlay. Maybe I can Discord meet him until he's the naughty step.
Think about what you've done.
I
Alright.
don't know. I don't know when too far is too far. I just don't.
Back to D&D. Ilara. Malik died? What happened?
He attacked quite viciously Quan and Casimir.
He put this in here, and I nearly died, and then I got back up and burnt him to a crisp.
Also quite viciously.
It felt quite good. He shouldn't have written to my mother. Well,
There was also some
Ivor's
cackling
mother.
involved.
Oh, let's not over-dramatize it. I snigger.
gonna-
I don't cackle. That's
How are we going to explain? Looks at Vazul, looks at Goat. Wait, so is this all that's left of the other party?
Where's Brom?
Brom didn't come up this way. Well, Brom hasn't come up yet.
One of them's down below.
Taloran
dwarf.
didn't make it either.
Ah. I'm so glad you all came back.
So
The kids are
we-
fine, and like you see the Goliath kids like run out and begin like hugging their parents and various ones.
I don't suppose you've seen Naliska anywhere. Actually, turns to Goat and Zul. Where did Malik leave the slimy little bastard?
Ah, yes, with Nalos. Nalos still alive, so I'll go get them. Fazul and well, Fazul walks off.
Goat would probably go with.
I'm a little
Malik.
worried. It seemed to me that Malik had Naliska imprisoned in some way in this little statue. You mentioned a statue, yeah, DM? Like a little Naliska.
Yes. Yeah.
This worries me somewhat. But let's see. Anyway, Alara, we're done.
Yes, we just need to get back. I'm so grateful to all of you. She kind of like begins tearing up a little bit. We all made it.
Don't cry.
I'm going to cry.
Please don't.
And she kind of like flings her arms around Casimir,
Oh,
unable
watch the
to hug
balls.
Quan. Kind of goes up and attempts to hug.
Shockingly,
Each of you.
Casimir does actually return the hug around the waist with a somewhat reluctant little smile.
How tall is Alara?
About 5'7".
She would kind of awkwardly hug like Pod's abdomen. He gives her kind of a pat on the head and goes, "Congratulations on becoming king."
Well, there's a process, and we'll obviously need to work out what's going on. But you've done a great service here for the Bulwark, and not one that will be forgotten. I'll make sure of it. Razor was a blight upon these lands, and you've saved a great deal of suffering. Thank you.
Alara, if I offer you some advice, if you'll perhaps take it. Razor's intentions, motivations, and acts were evil and wrong, but the way she went about it, how she did those things, showed wisdom. When you are ruler of these lands, you must start off knowing that these lands are already ruled. Do not seek to quell and crush their people, as Razor has tried to do. You will only inspire others to rise against you, and ultimately, your rule will be futile. Just know that you are taking on a responsibility for more than just the Bulwark. I know the Stormland and your father has ambitions for this land, but you are looking after everyone.
I have read many a tome on leadership is a responsibility more than a right or a privilege. I hope I can embody that.
That's all very somber, but I do have some exciting documents from Malik's pocket about all the residuum here if you want to take a look. Predators Federation's plans, all of that. We can ideate on the way back. I'm sure we can think of a ethical way to do it.
I'm sure their reports would be interesting, what exactly they planned. I was always confused by their interest in this place.
Indeed, well, let's find out and not let them become an issue for you.
Thank you. Atlas, how are you feeling?
Probably very bittersweet. Gone over with the Goliaths and my family. I guess slump Razor's body in front of Alara, and then gone over and more involved myself with them, and just kind of discussing next things with the clan, my wife, my best friend. I think at some point I would tell them that I'm going to speak to Alara on our behalf to see if I can get any support in re-establishing. But in terms of how I'm feeling, it's very bittersweet. I'm at Double Death's door already, so I'm probably quite weak and maybe feel like, I don't know, hollow. I feel like maybe my sense of touch is beginning to fade slightly as I go to hug my daughter.
Yeah. Would you be traveling back with the group, or are you going to travel with your people?
Honestly, it'll probably be with my people.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. So we'll deal with that this evening.
At this point, point of something. Question. This is relevant. The rubies I retrieved. How much was their value each? Sorry, was it
1,000
5,000
each? No, 1,000 each.
Oh. Okay. Okay, let's change that. Cool. And as Atlas and Co and family are departing, are there any Arakot cry around?
Only Goat, but we'll deal with that. You're all going to be traveling together, I think, back to Fort Valor.
Cool. So probably on the way in that case with Arvis is gonna sidle up to Atlas and be like, well, I'd like to take this opportunity if you think it's appropriate for me to apologise on behalf of my scheming around the younger folk of your people. I think in hindsight it was somewhat inappropriate.
Thank you, Arvis. I appreciate the apology. I think you didn't have the full context of what was going on, so practical actions dictated your behavior, and I can appreciate a practical man.
I bet you're right, mate, but perhaps I'm too practically minded these days. Perhaps there's space for one to loosen up, as they say. Not get one's tail in a twist, if you know what I mean.
Bit of empathy goes a long way. Maybe not too much for a man like yourself, though.
Well, don't underestimate me in that regard, mate. I understand your people have suffered rather dearly, and I imagine much of your labour being extracted for beyond what I would call free has left you something out of pocket when it comes to trading. Just don't let the bird people see. And he's going to pass you one of the rubies.
Oh. Thank you, Arvis. I'm sure this will go a long way to helping my people resupply and whatever they wish to accomplish. This will be a good leg up.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. Listen, and he sort of leans in a bit closer and says, if you come across a trader and you fervently insist it's Hellenese, it will go for about 350 gold more than standard ruby. So if you pretend you've heard of a Hellenese ruby but don't know if this is one, you might actually get 400 extra gold and 50. So mind games, you know.
Thank you. I don't think I'll be coming across much of anybody, but I'll definitely pass the information along.
I'm glad, mate. Just you, you know, really shouldn't let the bird folk know that you have this, all right? And if it does come about on the light of a feather that you do have this in your possession, you most certainly didn't get it from me.
Didn't get it from who?
Right you are, mate. Right you are.
We know.
No, who is Oren for you?
Wait, what was that?
Who is Oren for you? The bird language.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Right.
Like-
Okay.
We
We
know
can-
just quick. We know what's going to happen to Atlas, right? Like, do we know that?
Atlas, have you
spoken
expressed
about
that?
it?
I think briefly. I think I've said that my purpose is to kill Razor, and beyond that, I didn't really know what was going to happen to me.
Hmm. Okay. I guess as a necromancer, he probably has the sense that this is not a permanent deal, perhaps. But being, deeply incapable of expressing genuine feeling, he probably just occasionally looks over quite sympathetically, but doesn't say anything. Just sort of to check that he's, still moving. Give him a little nod every once in a while.
So we'll deal with that in a second. The rest of you, Jorin is staring at Bessie like, what are your plans next?
The others come.
They will be pleased to hear what you have done. Did you uncover any evidence of Lith or her plans?
To be meditated on and spoken of elsewhere.
And of the final aberrant, looks at Casimir.
I assume I'm not in earshot.
No.
Gossiping.
God, what do I say to this fuck? With the weave in turmoil, things that were clear are not, and things that are not are now. We must not act rashly. For this is our creed. Fate of the aberrant will be determined, and not by me or you, we.
I will report what has happened to Yasuvu. I'm not sure they will approve of aberrants as weapons, but it has been effective.
We will leave it in the hands of those who see further, as we have always done. Trust in our Lord, trust in the plan. Join me,
Those
we
who
will,
see all threads.
and those who see them. Let us meditate and feel our
Meditate
Lord's
together.
guidance.
Such a
Okay.
cult.
Me too. Okay. Guys, Chetley leaves. Yorin, after meditating, leaves as well to give their report. unless he would have them do anything else.
No.
The rest of you make camp, begin to go. The Goliaths begin to leave as well. Unless there's anybody who we'll talk to the journey and what happens to Atlas.
Yeah, Mercy will talk to Atlas and hopefully alone before Atlas departs, if possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Mercy catches Atlas, but they find you alone at some point, and they're wearing a kind of sad smile, and just straight in, they're like, "We know that your time among the mortals grows near.
Yeah.
We know that this must be difficult for you. But before your departure, we would like to try and show you something which may bring you comfort on the other side."
Please, I'd like to see.
"Just sit down with me." And Mercy will sit down, cross their legs, close their eyes, and their face will shimmer again. And they'll kind of hold out their hands in front of them, inviting Atlas to take them.
I will take your hand.
Okay. And Mercy will try and draw Atlas into a vision of what Atlas's family will be now. A future where they're no longer slaves, they're alive. And a future where they're hopefully happy. Whether or not that happens, Mercy will try to find a vision of this and show it to Atlas. Is that possible?
Yeah, sorry. I assumed that was just happening. Yes.
Okay.
You can show a vision of the future.
Yeah. So, and I'll maybe I'll leave it up to Matt to describe what that looks like exactly. But in the happy ending, they stand together, still holding hands, but in a kind of loose way, and they're watching whatever scene they're watching. And Mercy will just say, "Their path was different until you came. One who has come again. And though your weave ends, you join the tapestry of the past, joining eternity. Those you love have been set on a different course, thanks to you."
I think at this, Atlas, who has been fairly unflappable except around his family, will just kind of break down in tears. Kind of his whole body being racked by sobs. Thank you, Mercy.
I think Mercy's seen these kinds of emotions before, you know. They don't say anything. They do just let Atlas feel it. And after an amount of time, perhaps when they compose themselves, Mercy says, This is all yet to come. And so now we must return to the now. And I guess they'll try and stop looking through into the weave, and they'll come back and they'll be sitting together.
Thank you, Mercy. It's a lot to me to know that I could have changed their lives in a positive way. It's all I ever wanted.
Go well on your journey, my friend. And no, this is not the end.
So DM, by going with the Goliaths, am I going off with them and not going to Bulwark?
So, Mercy shows you this vision. And when it ends, Mercy presumably at some point leaves you standing there. And you can see something Mercy can't. Wrapped in silver armor adorned with deep red rubies, a platinum dragonborn stands a couple of feet away watching you. Mercy can't see this. But you, as you turn, see this figure staring, who at one point beckons you towards him.
Debts come due, eh?
My domain is justice. Atlas, defender and avenger of your people. Do you feel justice has been done?
I do.
I do not. There is one final task. I did not bring you back for petty vengeance. That is my sister's domain. You may spend some time with your people. But in my war against Talos, you have benefited me greatly. But your people, and points to both Go and you, their continued thriving and success, which you will guarantee by your hand. You have one final task that you must fulfill, weary one. I would like you to be their advocate. You will go. You will negotiate with the one you have won the throne for, and you will secure your people's future. And then, yes, justice will be done. For vengeance without purpose is not who you or I aspire to be.
And take this task gladly. Anything to keep me away, eh?
I don't keep you from the Queen of Raven's hands for personal pleasure, but because it is what is right. Your friend, your ally, Pod, may feel this is unfair. But he and his god will have you soon enough. Of that I cannot spare you.
Nor would I have you spare me that way. I've done what I need to do. When I have completed it, send me on.
Make sure they are safe. Make sure they are happy. Make sure their future is secured. And your spirit shall join me in my war. And we will see Talos brought low.
Fuck Talos.
On your feet.
Seems, Mercy, I'm staying around just a little longer. I have a party to attend.
Someone is plucking at your strings, my friend. You must have powerful friends. But the terms of the Concord are clear. Cannot do too much. I hope you do.
Oh, I'm gone soon enough, I know that much, but while I'm here, might as well try living a little, well, as much as an undead can.
Our time
Now,
will all come eventually. As is written.
thank you, Mercy. But enough of this doom and gloom. Let's rejoin the others, shall we? You'll have your chance to say goodbye. I know you'll miss me.
What makes you think I won't see you again?
Maybe you will.
You'll see me more than I see you. Of that I promise.
I'll kind of like one arm over Mercy's shoulder and pull them into a hug side by side as we start walking back. Well, if there's one group of people I'd hope to see more in the future, it's you, stupid lot.
Aww.
You will soon. Council of 12 come. For the coronation is the founding of an age.
Let's not be late then.
So,
Just quickly,
other than the report I'll get to. Go on, Casimir.
just if the Goliaths are heading off, it would be Casimir's personal priority to make sure the children who'd been subjected to blood magic were recovering, that he had done everything he can, and that there was nothing more he could do to help.
Well,
They have
Arvis is
woken up.
anti-vax, so he would oppose that vehemently.
Understandable.
Yeah, but they have woken up. They do seem slightly unsure, and Casimir pleads to them with the medical knowledge you have, and obviously tells others this is how you need to make them feel better, and they will be a bit confused and out of it, but the whatever rift will heal.
I think it goes for it if they start, reanimating squirrels, things. Hit me up. I'll help them with it. That kind of thing. They start displaying unnatural abilities.
Exactly. Let you know. Just tell me not setting. So, Atlas, you go off, but you are invited to the party. You will be there, and that will be your final mission. To attend a party, as they say. The rest of you, as you're traveling back, we'll montage the Stormlands. You're traveling back is a lot easier without Razor's approach or threat looming over you. The reports, which I'll leave you pondering before the break. Malik's reports shed a little bit of light on some of your compatriots. Are you sharing this, Casimir? I assume everybody asked.
I mean, he's a snaky little bitch, so he's gonna read it, and if it feels pertinent to share, I guess he will.
So,
See how
apart
spicy
from all
it
the
is, to be
items-
honest.
Yeah, apart from all the items that you can distribute, and I presume at this point Goat is following you with the lantern. So if Goat and Fazul are following with you, Brom is nowhere to be seen.
What happened to Nalaska, by the way?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Nalos
Fazul
and
comes
Nalaska.
back carrying Nalos, who is unconscious.
Right. And
No
Nalaska's nowhere
sign
to
of
be seen.
Nalaska as she kind of drops him down and says, "Seems he got away."
Well, shit.
Nalos wakes up. Where am I?
You missed the main event, Nalos.
Sighs. Stands up. My head is killing me. Where's Nalaska? What happened?
We were hoping you could shed some light on that one.
I mean, he was frozen in place. Malik left me to guard him, and next thing I knew, I was here. It'd been a couple of days.
Wherever he is probably long gone. Is Goat around?
Yeah. Go. What's more important, vengeance or the whirlwind lantern? Where are you going?
I don't know. Maybe I hand her over to you, Jamie. What do you think?
Goat's gonna go look for Nalaska. But say, I will come, Fort Valor. I will see you there. Looking at the Quan with the whirlwind lantern. I want that returned.
I need a
I-
long rest or I can't do anything.
Can't promise how soon, but I will do everything I can to make sure it is returned to you.
I'm going to get that murderer. I'm going to warn my people. And Goat flies off, presumably to look for Nalaska and to attempt to warn her people that he is free in the Stormlands, their domain. And we'll be there at the party at the end.
Sick.
That's the reports. You skim over the one from you, including your wanted poster, including a couple of sightings. Whether or not you
Do I look good on the
divulge the
poster?
information. No. That's the worst bit.
Got my nose wrong.
No reports about Atlas. You know the information on Pod is that Pod is from a town called Thugaloom.
Buckaloom.
Thugaloom.
Yes.
THUG.
Buckaloom.
OLE. Buckaloom. Yeah.
Buckaloom.
The Pod's family
Pod
are within the
fucks.
control of the Creditors Federation, and there's a note about can be threatened ? The name Kareen appears,
Maureen.
which we will remember from the one shots.
A lot of exposition
yes.
happened, but
Ah,
you missed the part that
Goddamn
when
Corrine.
someone mentioned a combination of the words Residuum and Creditors Foundation, Pod was almost frozen for a second, looking like he's having some sort of kind of Vietnam era flashbacks for just a couple of seconds without anyone really noticing, and then snapping back into it, like the drums of war sounding in the back of his head.
So, if you would like to talk about any of this, obviously we can do that in the back. This is just what you read. Arvis, there is precious little on Arvis. Arvis was first spotted, or first reports of Arvis, at Redwood Port,
Woodport.
making his
Is
way
that-
to Dominus over to the Piers. Redwood Port is on the Realm of Retribution and Abyss crossline. It's that continent port. So
So Arvis
making his way to
previously
Dominus from
told
there.
us that he was from the Piers. Am I to assume he's actually come through the Piers, in fact, and is not from there?
Well, the first time he was spotted would be Redwood Port,
Which
but
is well
certainly
before
most of the
Piers.
reports of him, yes, but most of the reports are of his activity within the Piers.
Okay.
But the very first one, Quan. Quan did indeed serve at Iron Mall, and Bleak Hollow. and was dishonorably discharged.
No! Why?
Wow.
No!
Information not
Shit.
given, considered too
Homophobia.
high for clearance. And he's originally unsure of location, perhaps local area, is what is written.
Okay.
Wait, what was that thing about clearance? Sorry.
Atropos. Sorry, there's like too much, like as in like the level of clearance wasn't given to whoever wrote this report, or they weren't able to find it as to why Quan was dishonorably discharged. Atropos. No record whatsoever exists of who they are, which makes sense with what you've heard.
Okay.
Toad.
Hmm.
Sovereign.
Of?
From the Morphean Woods.
That's not over there. That's a name.
Wait, is that over there?
I mean,
No.
it is over there, but
Where are the
Rachel
Morphean
said-
Woods?
Morphean Woods are the Endless Stream, regularly sent as a representative of their people to Tathriel and the Elven Court.
okay. Well, about what we know.
Just confirming it. Unsure why he's left. Never before seen outside of these two locations. Never seen at the Morphean Woods, but represents those people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the information you gather from the reports.
Yes, as he's reading this, so part of his brain will be very occupied on the way back. He'll spend a lot of it with the Whirlwind Lantern, thinking about what on earth he can do to fix Quan. Maybe, trying stuff occasionally, or like asking Pod, asking Mercy, asking Arvis, a Tinkerer, asking Nalos as well. Pointedly not asking the idiots with no brain, but he will be spending a lot of the journey thinking about that. He'll also be cooking with Alara, so I think a lot of the trip will be helping prepare her for leadership and plotting along the lines of residuum and how to handle people. And I think he'll also be very much pondering whether or not he should speak to his party. Because if he talks to his party about their shit, probably he owes it to them to tell them about his shit.
Hmm.
And that's the brain thinking throughout this trip. I don't know where that
Okay.
gets us.
So, we will get to the party. You guys make your way back to what is probably considered safe territory, which is the edge of the bulwark's sphere of influence across the Emerald Passageway to Fort Valor. We'll leave it there for the next, and we'll come back at 25 past for when you return triumphant. Alara's household, Alara's family, the Creditors Federation, the politics, the Success Party, the coronation to be planned, all TBD. Prepare and think about what you would all might have said each other to the passage, what you want to say when you get there as well. But slightly expediting the story. Mercy, for the sake of your calendar, this takes 20 days.
Okay.
It's a long camping trip with the boys. Holy moly.
Spicy.
That's wholesome. We're all just hanging out together for like 20 days. Nobody's stressed. We're all just like fishing and cooking and getting the great outdoors.
Do we sleep at all? So we attacked
You
Razor's
sleep
camp
multiple
at
times.
like 12 o'clock on the 35th. So did we set off the same day, or did we?
No,
rest?
yeah, you rested and went.
Okay, so we set
Okay,
off.
if there is
the-
anything you want to do, we'll get
Yeah.
there. But yeah,
Okay.
Jamie, did you say 20 days?
yeah. So could you make 20 rolls for me?
I was gonna
Oh, shit.
say, are we not?
Oh, shit.
Are we not able to fix Quan?
Oh,
Well,
fuck.
yeah,
as long as we have one
am I
sleep.
helping? Am I prolonging? Can Pod and I start siphoning it?
Yeah, you can definitely attempt to. Quan, make 20
Yeah.
rolls, and we'll go from there.
Can
I'm gonna have
maybe-
to do a lot of maths on this. Hang on.
No. You give me the 20 rolls, and I'll work it out in the break.
Go
Okay.
Google
But if it
roll
gets-
20d6. 20d20 even. Oh.
Well,
Funny
if
be
con gets a
funny.
0 con, they nuke the Stormlands.
Nice campaign, guys. I'm glad we ended on a high note.
It's so sad that Sai rolled 20 ones in a row.
What's your plus on
and
Quan?
Died
What's
immediately.
your plus on Constitution? What's your plus on Con?
Sai's rolling pretty well.
These are lots of nat 20s here.
I'm not sure what the plus is for Quan yet, but it's
It's
Oh,
high.
okay.
It's
Very
high. It's
good.
high. No.
No, it's not. It's plus
Mhm.
0 now.
No, you're saving
Oh.
through.
saving
Paladins are
throw.
charisma wisdom. No, are they? Are they con?
I think
Plus 4.
I don't think.
Plus
Plus
4.
four.
Plus 4. Plus
Okay,
4.
so the first 5 days are a success. Your DC for the first 5 days does increase 1 by 1. So, second 10 days, 5 is a failure. The others are successes. 3 is a failure. Roll your next set of dice. These 7s are failures. You fail 4 times as you're traveling.
Right.
You can roll with advantage based on Quan and Casimir's help for those 4. Sorry, Pod and Casimir's help on those 4.
Really?
You need it. Yeah, you need to roll over 10,
You
and
got
you'll
this.
succeed them.
You got this. You got this.
4 extra d20s.
So
If-
I'm
if-
just
Oh, sorry, no, sorry, 5 times with the 5. Sorry, you failed 5 times. So you have 5 advantages.
If
Roll
Quan-
another 5d20. All of these fails are real fails.
If he ever starts looking remotely peaky or clammy, he has Casimir's pasty little hand on his forehead, immediately like drawing energy out of it.
Mhm.
So any dice roll over 10, you succeed. Any you fail. So you fail.
I just like every day can I like
Twice.
bless him and guidance him
Mm-hmm.
constantly.
These are saving throws. So
Doesn't bless do
Do you have
that? I can't
resistance?
remember.
so across the 15 days, Con, you lose 2 max con. The 20 days, sorry.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's rough.
And the
Could be
DC.
worse.
No, I'm gonna take it off. The DC is now 15 for these rolls.
Oh Christ! Better
That's real
fucking
bad.
pray to Tyr in the break.
Yeah, that's real.
And we'll be
fucking
back in 10 minutes. See you all in a bit.
For a happy party.
For a happy party where nobody dies.
Yay.
Except the people who die.
Goodbye.
Except for
See you in
the people who
10 minutes, I guess.
Bye bye.
And we're back.
Hello, everybody. Costume change has been complete. We're now at the party rather than the aftermath. Welcome back. The group. You have all, unless there's anything you wish to talk about, you have made your way back to Fort Valor, where your journey began in-game several months ago, and also out of game several months ago.
Mm,
Wow, as if they
Um,
match up. Crazy.
that's cool.
Funny how things work.
Who would have?
Jamie, can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
You and fair enough, the answer can be no, but I'm gonna try and save Sai a little bit here. But could I have portented any of her roles?
No.
Fair
Because they've
enough.
already been rolled.
Fair enough.
Appreciate it at the time, maybe, but
Okay.
I will say no.
Going
Or in the
forward,
future,
I will
going
keep an eye
forward, you
on
may
this.
indeed ask. Yes. I can't keep track of everything, but I appreciate sometimes I ask for roles quite quickly.
Why not?
At any point, please do interrupt me. Because despite what work and you all believe, I am only human.
I don't believe anything other than that.
I've seen your Cthulhu tentacles.
I do have a pet Cthulhu. We'll bring them in a second. If we were playing in person, it would occasionally appear as a monster, especially as an aboleth.
Jesus.
You return to the seats of House Luminar. On your way, you would have passed by various encampments that sent warning of your arrival. So you are greeted by a party of Lord Kalim Luminar, the Creditors Federation representative. Sorry, where is it? Leora, not Ilara, quick hand. as well as various other important members of the Federation, who welcome the victorious group as well as the remains of the others. Caleb embraces his daughter, excitedly exchanges about their adventures, what has happened. You are all welcomed back into the central keep, the house, and assigned your previous rooms. Waiters there, handing on your batons. And I will say, unless there is anything you want to talk to each other or anybody about, time and 2 days progress, which again, saving throws need to get made, but you are welcomed as heroes. You are told there is going to be 2 events planned. A party for those of you who succeeded and came back, including the losers. And finally, a coronation set for a week, 12 days from now.
Casimir, rather than looking excited, just, you're giving me 2 days for a party and 12 days for a coronation. Elara, I need an advance on my victory funds. I need clothes.
You are
I
also
can't show
all
up.
given your victory funds of 10,000 gold pieces.
Elara, I
all
need
of you.
ateliers. Who is there in this city? Who is there in
So
Fort
you-
Palace?
You may all give yourself 10,000 gold pieces on your character sheets. And Caleb says, well, you can't expect people to travel all across Lukai to make their way here to celebrate my daughter's achievements in a couple of days. These are important people. Their schedules need to get changed.
Oh, but 12. God, I mean, I'm more worried about 9.
It's a sacred number.
Fine, yes, 12, all very good. I need to leave. All of you need to leave. We can't dress like this. Arvis, you look like a carpenter. His mouth forms around the word rat and then goes to carpenter.
Oh yeah.
Pod will have accepted the 10,000 gold, just like quite nonchalantly. He just would have been like, "Oh, thank you very much," and then he would have immediately turned to like whoever was behind him, probably like Casimir, and just be like, "Could you hold this for me?" And he just gives it to him.
No. Roll your dice if you're going to randomly give this away. Okay. Mercy is 1, Casimir is 2, Arvis is 3, Quan is 4. Roll a d4.
Sure. That's a 1. So
Mercy.
Hey.
he just turns to Mercy and he just goes, "Oh, that's neat. Could you hold this for me?" And he just kind of hands over the sack of gold and then just seems to kind of whistle as he walks away.
What a guy.
Yeah, Mercy takes it, invests it in stocks, and becomes a millionaire.
God, Mercy
Storm coin.
Portents the stocks.
Oh my god.
just sees the
Oh my
future of
God.
the market. Sees the
Oh.
threads. But
No, I'm
not
joking.
the
Obviously, Mercy doesn't do that. They have no.
Mercy is
value of
20,000. You have 0. The rest of you have 10,000. You can do with that and spend that on outfits to the party as you wish, as well as any magical items, anything you wish to do with that money. Do let me know.
Would anyone go shopping with him? Don't all speak at once, guys.
No.
I'm trying to think.
Quan would not go shopping with Casimir, but he would probably sheepishly at some point kind of say, I don't really know where to start. I mean, pointer, but I'm just not really used to all of this, and I'm not quite sure how appropriately I should be dressed.
Well, what do you mean you don't know where to start? I mean, we go to an atelier, you get measured, you look at things you like, you say what you want, you get it. You can't show up at a party in armor, Quan. You'll make a racket.
Well, I can take off the armor, and he starts like taking off his armor, like as if to show Casimir, like this is fine.
And now you're in a stained linen shirt. Well done. Will you find something that fits you properly? You're going to be... Ilara's going to be hanging on your arm all day for starters. You're going to be the centre of attention.
He looks positively horrified at that statement and says, why Why do you say that?
Because she's attached to you, like she's a little shadow.
Alara is attached to all of us because we together have earned a victory that is. He's just like.
Denial is a terrible thing, but if you would like, I can get you some clothes. I would rather you come with me, though. Else I'm going to have to ask Nalos or Zul, and I can't imagine him doing anything other than burning it down, so...
I will accompany you to the shop in which you purchase clothes, and if you point me in the right direction, I can find something for myself. He looks completely not confident at all that he will pick anything that's not just plain clothing.
Oh, don't be nervous, Quan. It's only a day with me. We don't need to think anything of it. He kind of pats him on the arm and smiles, and if anyone else is coming, he will assemble a party and we shall venture forth.
If you're going to look for outfits, I will charge you, but...
I'm prepared to sink a lot of my 10k into clothes, Jamie. I'm going to commission
Are
a
you
lot.
specifically getting an outfit for the party or just commissioning generally?
I'll commission for the party, and obviously we've only got 2 days, which is a nightmare. But something probably more for the coronation, and then probably a collection for just day-to-day wear, formal wear, evening wear.
It's fine, dude. Like tailors, I know plenty of tailors that can make entire outfits in less than a day. So
That's true. That's true.
I know at least one.
It's fine. They can definitely do what I want in 2 days. It's completely reasonable.
Okay. You may all describe or decide what you're going to wear, and based on enough goblin for it, I would say you can probably get parties for the coronation, unless you want a bunch of gems on top of them.
Do any of the others come?
It's going to be...
Does like Nalos come? Does Brom come? I presume Zul won't
Brom
come
is nowhere to
shopping.
be seen. Fazul has ceremonial armor. Nalos comes.
Does she? Oh, it's a girls' trip. I love it. Sick.
I would say it's going to
We're
cost...
all guys. We're all guys.
Nalos is the only girl. It's 30
Excuse me?
gold to get outfits made for the party and the coronation, unless you want pearls and stuff on it, in which case plus
I'm gonna
pearls. And jewelry
I'm gonna spend at least 500 gold on clothes.
plus. Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna have a wardrobe that would keep. How much does a peasant in this world need to live for a year?
Isn't it like? Well, I think like 5
5
gold
gold.
is like a Yeah, 5 gold is like a
Okay,
peasant's wage.
I could keep a village alive for a
That's
year
nice.
with the amount Casimir is dropping on his wardrobe right now.
you're
well,
a horrible
That's great for the village
person.
then.
Yeah.
Casimir, you absolutely go out and you work
And he-
the tailors and jewelers into a frenzy over the
He
next
looks
2 weeks. They're already
so
preparing for the
happy.
coronation.
He looks so happy as he does it, and he's also like, "Well, I can also provide assistance if you need it. Skeletons or something. He's
Do not interrupt my work.
good. I like that. I like that you have pride in your craft."
Atlas arrives, having said goodbye. The final time, you know this to your people on the eve of the party. Everyone else, anything you want to talk about, or shall I fast forward to the event? We can fast forward.
Arthas was
Sorry.
going to just approach the. Is it the speaker or the administrator who welcomes us back?
It's Kalim, Ilara's father, Lord of Fort Valor.
And Arthas is just, as before he departs, is just going to hand him a little piece of parchment and go, "I've filled out my work expenses form, kept things down, several hundred gold. I'm sure you can meet the requirements."
So did we just give you 10,000 gold?
Yes, it's payment for the job. And of course, there's expenses involved with the work itself.
You can make a persuasion check.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay. Persuasion, persuasion. Oh, got -2 to that. Let's see how that goes. That's a 5, baby.
5.
Let's go.
Yes,
Luck
well,
it.
that was payment for your time and resources. It should have been fully encompassed. Did you not budget that in?
Oh, right. And out of curiosity, we've taken to calling them the losers. Will they be reimbursed for their participation?
There aren't many of them left, but if any of them have any issues, they can let me know. But they didn't carry out the job. You don't pay someone for not doing something, do you? Preposterous, frankly.
But the reward, of course, is the payment for reward. I understand, but really what we're dealing here is just the running of operations.
Yes, but if I paid someone to construct a building and they didn't construct it, you wouldn't pay them, would you?
You pay them for the man hours worked, mate.
Not if they were doing something else. Or they failed.
Well, listen.
Allow me to paint you a picture,
We
Arvis.
were-
I ask you to build a building for me, and you and I stand there at the building that you've constructed, and at the moment that you tell me it's done, it falls down. Do I pay you? Of course not.
You would pay the fee and take that up with the Inland and Building Services and choose your right of recourse.
Arvis, are you advocating for those who have lost? That's very admirable of
Mate,
you.
all I'm saying is it was just an expensive form. If you don't want to pay it, you don't have to. I'm not clingy to these particular matters. Just, I like the procedure and process and, frankly, the decorum.
I'm eternally grateful, Arvis, for what you have done for my daughter and for the Stormlands. However, you have been handsomely paid for your time and your resources. If you are concerned for the others, pay their expenses out of your own pocket.
God damn. This guy does not care that half of the other party died.
Really don't. I just like to imagine we're all like drinking champagne and eating oysters, and then like Nalos, Brom, and Zul are eating like bread and soup.
They've got the loser's food.
Yeah.
Plates of dirt.
That's the word I'm looking for.
And I hope, now that my daughter is going to rise to the throne, she's going to be not held to any debt, Arvis, that you, real or imagined, would receive.
Delusional.
Mate, I think you have me completely misunderstood. We're talking about the parameters of work here. And
I am
that
so
alone.
glad
Frankly,
that I
mate,
have you
I wouldn't want
confused.
us to keep banging on about it. It's not something I'm particularly passionate about. Again, it is just a matter
I'm
of,
glad to hear.
well, the industry. There are standards you should know.
I think I've behaved admirably within the standards of my industry.
Well, as I said, sir, I would strongly disagree with you, but I respect your right to disagree with me.
God, he's giving incompetent senior management, honestly.
It's unfortunate
And
that
what
we
I-
weren't able to align on this matter.
I think you should circle back at a later date, Arvis. Keep going at
Please,
it.
no.
Yeah. What was I
Jesus
going to say?
Christ.
It was, oh yeah, and Arvis, as he turns, he begins to walk toward the door. He stops at the door and turns around and says, "I look forward to hearing your eulogy of those who fell, making your daughter what she now is." And he walks out.
Slight confusion at the fact none of you died. Very well. There's only one night to go. So, unless someone wants to intercede with a roll of some kind, Quan, could you make a
Yes.
Constitution saving throw? What would
Yes,
you like to
I
intercede
do.
with?
A 19.
19. Success.
Thank you.
However, that doesn't save you
What? Okay.
from... No. Saves you from this.
Oh, okay.
Quan. It's strange. Sleep hasn't come easy to you this whole time. This energy, this swirling inside you, keeps you awake. And yet, the eve of the party, the excitement, reputation, the uncertainty around your future washes away, and you fall into the deepest sleep you have done for a while. And you feel that energy is gone. That pressing need to deal with it separate as you allow yourself to be consumed by dreams. Often, something of this sharpness has been reserved to your visions triggered by events around you. But for the first time, this comes to you during sleep. You're at the party, at a party. You look around, you see Naliska. You see Casimir. Different, older, paler, carrying a black gauntlet. You see yourself, you look down, you look different as well. You see an amber-eyed Dragonborn standing next to you, attempting to engage you in conversation. And as dreams often do, details are hard to come by. You're enjoying yourself. Casimir is laughing. Naliska is awkwardly standing in the corner. People come and go. Bran! Captain Bran, but not really, looking slightly sickly, walks in. Party is disturbed. Fizzle, who's been drinking this entire time, has walked over and put his arm around a young woman. The mist seems to peer for a second, and the woman looks uncannily like Alara. Before being pushed away by someone out of sight and dragged off by guards. Casimir following afterwards. You slip. And now you're lying on your back. Dream you've had of several months repeated. Blood fills your mouth as a sword cuts into your neck. And despite this being the first time sleep has taken you for a while, you wake up in the dead of night. The effort of keeping yourself together high, but also sweat. And you think to yourself, perhaps, are these your memories coming back? Do you know all of these people? What on earth is happening? And you can't help but glance over or think about the 4 or 5 people present in your dreams. Do they know more about you than they're letting on? Mercy, how are you feeling? Why are you still here? How concerned are you about these threads you see connect yourself to the weave?
I suppose as the days go on, Mercy grows ever more anxious to see these remaining. And I think the more they see it, the less they can attribute it to a misreading. I think they're still here because a personal sense of a kind of selfish desire to see this kind of momentous event, the crowning of the first queen of the Stormlands, is driving them. I think they also are very conscious that they may be sent away very soon, and I think they've grown to... They become close to these guys as well. They've had insights into their lives in a way that doesn't end with each of their murders, basically. And I think that's been a new thing for Mercy. I think Mercy's concerned very much about Quan and the destinies that Quan holds, and so Mercy spends a lot of time both with Alara as the first queen and the potential impacts that her decisions and her fate has on the land is huge. I think this development of Quan is also quite concerning for Mercy, and so I think for the first time their attention is taken away from Casimir, who for so long was the focus of this cannonball that they were hoping that they could drive into the forces of Razor. And now that that's actually been done, kind of feels empty.
Before we get to the party, one final night and roll from Quan, or portent from Mercy.
So would you like a portent, or would you like to roll?
It's your choice. I would like not to fail, but
Would like to live.
yeah. Guess I'll roll.
Yeah. I think Mercy has to be fairly close, and I don't think Mercy's with you all the time, so...
18.
Success. All of you. Casimir. Fazul, you've been super focused on clothes and getting it ready. You probably haven't noticed Fazul's slightly detached since arriving back at Fort Valor. Your training, your camaraderie, all of you. The other party has slightly separated. Nalos, Goat. No, sorry, Goat's not here. Goat will return, however. Nalos and Fazul have mostly spent the time to themselves. However, in the central grand hall of the House of Luminar, Ilara, Kalim, Leora, as do several other important members from Fort Valor. This is the personal celebration. Your celebration. Sorry, yes.
So, if he was detaching, I think throughout the time we've been traveling, I presume being, friendly, bantering, training, whatever it is, there's also that unspoken dream issue that they're sharing. So I suppose there'd be the occasional, just sort of firstly, have I had anything weird? And if not, it would probably just be the occasional check-in to make sure he's not seeing anything weird.
Okay. You haven't. He didn't on the travel. If you ask him at Fort Valor, I will say make an insight roll.
Yes, my dump stat. That's a 3.
No, he hasn't.
Then he gets a bit of bread chucked at his face and why are you being so miserable? Cheer up. Ooh.
Something else is affecting him, I'll say with a 3, but you don't. It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Caleb Numinar, his wife, Lady Seraphine, Ilara's younger brother, Sir Orion, representatives of the Creditors Federation, Jarvis Fairwind, Cedric Gearspark, Liara Quickhand. All of them are at this party. with other members of both the Bulwark of Honourable States, though not the leaders, they're going to be here soon, as well as Fort Valors itself. Bran has made his way. Goat has returned. As, on a stormy night, arrives Atlas. You're all here. You're all back. One by one, you make your way in, and you may all now describe your party outfits. Should you have chosen to have any? Mercy first.
So for the party, Mercy will wear the persona of Amarathia, the high elf female that they wear. She's quite short, like maybe 5'6", 5'7", and she's wearing a plunging red gown, strapless, quite long, like lace. I don't know how many, a few layers of in the dress, and a pair of like quite tall, but not stiletto heels.
Okay. Casimir.
When he arrives late, let me just swap to the combat over real quick. Okay. Today he is dressed to remind you exactly how long his legs are, and how hard he works on maintaining his perfect figure. He is wearing a tight, textured catsuit, black leather, a little bit of sheen. It is covered in these like padded structures, which are kind of shaped reminiscent of like rib cages and spines and shit. And all of these structures are like covered in beading and embroidery, which no one could have accomplished in 2 days. I don't know how they did it. Well done, Atelier. He has somehow found this jewelry. There's like silver skeleton hand that's like clutching at his neck, kind of like a bit of a choking thing going on. He's got silver chains dripping, or like, not chains, rather like thin sort of strings of pearls kind of dripping from tactical locations. The front is very much a like expensive necromancer, you know, bit saucy. But what really gets you is when he turns around. So the back is like a full slit from the nape of his neck the whole way down to the opening where his tail flicks out. And you cannot not look at the fact that he has a very long expanse of pale pink skin the whole way down to just above an ass that he has quite clearly worked very hard on. And even if it's not your thing, you can't help but appreciate the graft that he's really probably put into this one. And he's just having the best time of his life. He just looks so happy. He just gets to do something he's having real fun with. He just looks really relaxed and pleased with himself. Oh, he's also in the days off gotten a few little pearls inlaid in his horns. You suspect he's gotten, you know, little spaces carved out and them like set in. It is very sparkly. That's me.
Casimir arrives late, fashionably late, as you do. Atlas.
Yeah, I probably would have arrived in. So it's pretty standard attire. I've got a black linen shirt on that laces up around the chest, but mostly the thing that's covering me is looks like a great like a large kilt over my lower half, and you can see it kind of extends up and around my shoulder, and there's a dragon head clasp holding it in place over the shoulder between the front and the back. And he's got his bare legs out with some like brown like hard wiring brown boots that come up to his calves.
Okay. Todd.
Odd will have arrived outside the party, and if anyone would have noticed, he would just be looking completely normal. He hasn't bought any clothes. He looks completely normal. He looks exactly like he does. He's even got his shield on his back for some reason. Like, God forbid where he got that with him. But he kind of would stand outside and just watch people as they walk in. Obviously he'd be there probably before Casimir, so he wouldn't be able to see Casimir's incredible outfit, but until he's inside. But once a few people have passed and the overall attire has kind of been established, you see him kind of click his fingers and he will cast Disguise Self on himself to look basically like himself, but for some reason his nose is slightly bigger, like he's kind of screwed up a little bit, and he's wearing formal clothes that are just a weird, boring hybrid of everybody that's walked past. As if he almost managed to grab the most boring elements of every single person's outfit. And that's what he's wearing, yeah.
Incredible.
Well, not wearing. That's what he looks like he's wearing. If you have any sort of perception, you'll notice that, like, clearly it isn't quite right.
You AI generated the average outfit for the night.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And that's Luke, you put a prompt in.
So when Arvis walks in, his demeanor's not like truly sheepish, but a little sort of awkward. He's kind of fixing his collar and fixing his clothes gently as he comes in. He's not really used to wearing this sort of stuff, or even really this this many clothes of this type. And what Arvis is wearing is, you know, when you see like an older gentleman who. Am I cutting out?
Nope.
No, you're here.
No.
Okay, cool. An older gentleman at like a formal function, maybe a wedding, and they hit all the right notes. They're like, it's like a box ticking exercise of, I need to dress formally for this wedding, but it's just not looking very good. If you know what I mean. It's looking a bit dowdy. He's clearly purchased a second-hand suit. It's probably, it's a tuxedo, and it is. Or I guess the medieval equivalent of a tuxedo, and it is looking quite tired. It was clearly once black, but it's sort of gotten lighter as it's begun to lost its color and slightly faded. He's wearing a pair of round-toed brogue shoes, probably one quite rich leathery brown, but now kind of like darkish and quite faded once again from wear. Scuffs around the toes. Yeah, that's it. And he has a that's it actually. That's it. Bow tie to go with it, black bow tie.
And finally, Quan.
Yes. Okay. Quan is. Well, Quan's clearly made more effort thanks to the people that have helped him. He's wearing a dark teal fitted coat with a matching waistcoat and slightly light beige breeches with polished brown leather shoes. The coat is nice. It's kind of embellished with gold embroidery at the cuffs and at the collar, at the high collar that sort of brushes around his neck. His hair is braided as usual, but there are glints of maybe slightly more gold in there. You're not sure if he had it there before and it just wasn't clean, so it was dull, but you notice it now. And I think the one thing that is standing out is Quan has spent probably a fair amount of money on a number of holy symbols that belong to Tyr. So some of them, they're kind of like a not immediately recognizable as Tyr's symbol. They're kind of sort of like a swirling sun shape with kind of a gem in the middle, but around the edges you can see carved into it are Tyr's scales. And then some symbols are very obviously Tyr's. A glove with a set of scales in front of it, kind of hanging from his front pocket and from his belt as well. He does, though, have his greatsword, his obnoxiously glowing greatsword on his back when he walks into the party.
So, we'll arrive one by one. You are certainly stared at by those wearing more traditional, formal dresses or outfits. Nalos arrives wearing a very long, very flowy golden gown with kind of arcane runic symbols sewn into it. A similar one, like a slightly more dressy one than the one in the artwork, and seems slightly, accepting that she has lost, and a little bit like having bonded perhaps over the making of these dresses and everything is a bit more reflective than some of the others. Fazul arrives. I will say those of you who know Fazul well, as some of you might have done, everybody can roll an insight check on Fazul as he arrives. Fazul is wearing the ceremonial armor you saw him compete in the trial with. Red armor, kind of black filigree on top of it, as well as ornaments kind of depicting dragon wings, heads across it, the 5 colors of Tiamat present across the armor, this axe, the cruel kind of flaming axe he's had the whole time thrown over, hair into a bun behind. Very ceremonial, more than practical, but did anybody get an insight over 15?
14.
23.
Was that the highest, the 14?
No, 23 as well.
23.
23
Is
out
that
of
all of us rolling? Sorry.
yeah. I mean, you can if you want to. Basically, everybody can roll.
No, I'm alright.
That Fazul walks in, and something is wrong. Fazul looks a combination of furious, disappointed, nervous, as he sits down, ignoring almost everybody, beckons over someone serving drinks, and just begins to drink alone. You all see that. Nothing like. Obviously, there is oddness in that behavior, but the expression reading itself is there. The rest of you see Fazul kind of ignore, kind of bat everybody away, and just kind of seem to want to be on his own. But all of you look spectacular. And we'll begin as Ilara, sitting at the high table. Her father stands up. Guests, honored members of... You never actually decided a name. What about a time? What shall the heroic band be called?
Oh, can we workshop it, please, Caleb?
Oh, God.
You had several months of successful mission.
Well, now we have a feat to put behind our name, don't we? We need something appropriate.
Certainly. Workshop it now.
Razor's Bane.
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the
Heroes
Storm.
of the Storm. That's already taken.
League of Legends.
Copyright
Heroes of
Blizzard
the Earth. What do you want? Defense of the ancient Stormlands. What do you want? Come on. Surely you're collective. Or do you all plan to go your separate ways after this? Who am I to thank?
You can't do this to us, DM. You actually can't do this.
I am doing it to you. Make a fucking decision.
No, you had to tell us before the session. You had to tell us before the session. This is unreasonable, actually.
I will name you.
All out men.
Sure.
I like it.
Just normal, right?
No.
Panic at the boys.
That's all fine.
Wait, where was the list?
Chemical
Backstreet
Romance.
Boys.
romances.
Spice-
The bromance.
Spice Boys.
The nice boys.
My Chemical Necromance.
Alara's Angels.
Yeah,
oh
sure.
my God.
That's
I
good.
will allow
like-
you
I like
a
Ilara's
small
Angels.
I
reprieve.
like that.
Alara's
However, I
Angels.
must have someone to properly thank at the coronation. That's a fucking decide my next session.
As seriously as we took the previous charge, consider this our next.
Several months have passed. And I must admit, I was concerned. Reports I'd heard have been of Valara's kidnap. Or Reinholm's destruction. But, nonetheless. But I believe help of some worthy allies looks over at Atlas. You prevailed. Beneath the ancient ruins of the Galfeather Enclave, succeeded in stopping this blight. Of mine, my family's, and Lukai's gratitude. What armies could not accomplish, you have done. I know my daughter is a good judge of both talent, ability, and character. Isle of Skill showed all of your talents. And I look forward to seeing her mature as a ruler. Coronation will be in a week, and I have received word that the Archon Council will be in attendance.
The Archon
As well as
Council.
Indeed, they wish to give their blessing.
What's the significance of the Archon Council? Are they like monarchs? Are they like...
No, they're just... So some of them are rulers of their preserve. Others are just representatives of the gods. Have come to bless this, is what you all
like,
hear.
do we think of this as people that normally attend state functions? Are they like the strongest fucking guys ever? Like, how would we feel
They're
hearing that
not the
Archons are
strongest. You
coming?
feel as though this is being blessed by the greater society of Lukai. These are people who each represent their preserves. They may not necessarily be the strongest from them, but they represent the blessing of the strongest god in each of these preserves. So it's like a communal Lukai is coming to bless this.
Okay.
Some of them are the strongest, however, and Archons themselves are rarely. Some of them are rarely seen together, but often important matters are either handled or blessed by this. They are consulted often. None of you, I believe, would have seen any of them before, based on your backstories. Mercy probably has, actually, before I lie.
Interesting. Huh. How exciting. I can't wait to meet them.
However, today is not a day for ceremony or formality. It's a day to simply enjoy your victory and to commiserate those who are lost. I am sure that neither my daughter nor any of you will forget that much of this was funded by the Kratos Federation, and they gave the life of one of their own.
So sad.
The mission. Leora looks up. Lara, I'm so very proud of you. Kaelin kind of sits down and Lara stands up.
Can I
I
insert
don't have
check
much.
that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did they know
I
that
don't
Alara didn't go to any
I
of the
don't
big
trust.
fights and we put her away safely?
Not if you didn't tell them.
13.
13. I seems quite genuinely proud in his daughter.
Is Alara still level 2 or did she get like
Yes.
area XP?
You don't know. Lara stands up and Lara's like, I echo my father's sentiments. I would not have been able to achieve half or even a quarter of this without those of you who helped me. Looks around at each of you one by one. This journey, these times, have taught me more than anything that it is who a leader chooses to surround themselves with that ultimately matters. Looks quite prolonged at Quan for that second. I know I'm not perfect, and I know that I still have much to learn. If I were to categorize what I hope to achieve in the Stormlands, it is what I said several weeks ago now, that this is an intense responsibility, one that I do not take lightly, and one I will endeavor to do my best and surround myself with people who are wiser than I am. thank you, all of you. She raises her glass. To the happiness of the Stormlands.
Yeah, to the happiness of the Stormlands.
Yay.
Yeah.
Drink to that.
And you can all... She says... And now that some of the formalities are out of the way, I hope you will enjoy yourself this evening. Please. You all look... And like eyes linger on Casimir for a second. You all look fantastic. And I'm so grateful you're all here.
He winks back.
So... With everyone here, who wants to talk to who?
How big is this party? Is this like an intimate thing? Do we like...
Yeah,
is
there's probably
this
about
a
50
live
people here
music and
total.
dancing thing?
There's probably like 50 people here total. It's more like there's not kind of people are walking around serving food. There's not necessarily a dance floor.
Okay. This isn't a Bridgerton style dance piece. I see.
Yeah. I will start talking to people if people don't, so you guys can have your chat first, but otherwise
Well,
Ilara's going to go talk to someone.
I'm schmoozing. You know I'm schmoozing.
Well, Mercia's
How do we do-
Amarathia. Sorry.
No, you go first.
I was going to. Mercia's Amarathia, as far as they know, isn't known to any of the guests.
No.
So this evening, Mercy will just go around and see what people are saying, listen for gossip, get a perspective on things that people wouldn't say to Atropos or someone who's in the to be named party.
Okay. I will. If you can roll I say a general investigation check to try to understand the gossip and what's going on, and I'll think about what that means separately.
Straight 15.
Straight 15. Fair enough. I'll message you.
Cool.
I'll talk to Casimir.
Good luck. He is schmoozing like anyone you've ever seen. And maybe like it. Seeing him now like this, it kind of because his hair has actually grown quite a lot in the time of the Stormlands. He's not gotten it cut, rather it's like, got a little ponytail thing going on, earrings swaying. He's just having the time of his life, champagne, chatting to Creditors Federation. When you come up, he'll kind of turn and say, Atlas, this must be something new to you. How are you enjoying it?
Yes, it's fine. I'll turn to everyone else. Leave for a second, will you?
Oh, hi.
Now.
They look at you just like... Yeah, they leave.
Goodness, you only had to
Oh,
ask if you wanted me alone.
Ha. No. I'm sure you noticed when you walked in your... I don't know. Lover in crime? Your... Whatever was strange relationship you have with Fazul. Something wrong with him.
I hated right. There's a
Very
lot that's
wrong
wrong
with
with
him.
him, Atlas. There's a lot that's very wrong with him, actually. He's violent, rude, inconsiderate,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
stupid.
Yes. But he seems genuinely disturbed.
Of course he is. Look at me. I look amazing tonight. Must be stressed. I'm out to inspire panic tonight.
Panic.
I'm kidding. Do you have any insight as to what the matter might be? Does it seem like it goes beyond being very, very salty he lost?
Would a nat 20 afford me that I got for my insight check when he walked in afford me any additional?
Yeah, Fazul doesn't look like he slept very well.
Yeah, I'd be like, I think he's been up at night. He's got those bags underneath his eyes.
Doesn't look this best, does he?
No.
I appreciate you telling me. I don't know why I would be the one to cheer him up. I seem to do quite the opposite, but I'll try. After all, it is sort of... He kind of begrudgingly glares at his champagne. It wouldn't have been possible without them, would it? I sort of feel... I don't know, maybe Alara can pay them something. Alright, Atlas. Yes. Thank you for
Just
telling
thought I
me.
should tell you.
I appreciate it.
No,
How are you?
You're. I'm fine. I
You look good.
am going to. Thank you. This is traditional ceremonial wear.
Is
It took
your
me 4
wife
hours to
in
put this
this?
on.
Wow. Yes, that was much the same. I can't sit down so easily. Dinner was a bit of a struggle.
Oh, you should try kilts. They're very good for mobility.
I'll consider it, thank you. Anyway, enjoy the
No,
evening.
you look fabulous though. I imagine someone's gonna have to peel you out of that later though.
Ideally, yes.
Wow.
Atlas on the arm. And I suppose...
See where the night takes you.
Yes, let's indeed. Enjoy it. I mean it.
I will go off probably over to someone else and let someone else do some talking if they want.
Yeah, I'll steal myself for the...
That's okay. Alara walks over to Arvis. Arvis, my father came to talk to me about what you said to him. I will admit I've always been quite curious. I'm very grateful you decided to come, but what motivated you to accept the offer? What are you looking for?
Well, it's interesting you ask. Something I did consider discussing with you at some point, considering you'd be rather well positioned now to enact effective change here on the continent. Well, I don't know if you remember on the road, we did dealings with a band of ocean monster hunters. And if you recall, their performance was less than satisfactory. It
Yes, the Blackwater Bounty.
was somebody who, indeed, somebody with a background in shipping. I do worry about the safety of trade in our oh so watery world. What are your views on free ports?
Oh, I think the better people can travel and explore, and I suppose broaden their horizons, the better.
I absolutely agree. I do. And as a man now who's come into something of a small fortune, I was thinking I'd be looking to invest in the infrastructure now that you would be something of a leader of the Stormlands. I think it would only do anything but a benefit for the growth and repair and investment that's so sorely needed in the Stormlands.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you agree?
absolutely. I don't. Yeah, absolutely. The Stormlands needs attentive care over the next couple of years. We walked through most of it. I'm keenly aware of the state of the land I am about to be responsible for, and I want to make the best of it as quickly as possible.
So good to hear you say that. You really are a moral beacon for all of us, Alara. And he takes Alara by the shoulder and picks up a little a glass of wine as they walk. And he has the glass of wine. He doesn't drink from it once. So, how does that sound to you? Making use of this investment to establish a free port, maybe a perhaps channel of free trade. I was thinking a pair of twin free ports, one this side, one the other, facilitating trade across the entire continent, cutting out as much of the waterways around the outskirts as possible. Defended, of course, by the necessary monopoly and force that is required for the state to function.
Well, I think it would be work. I mean, we destroyed much of Reedholm. I'm sure the locals would value any investment in the area. It's on the coast as well. It's just a fishing village normally, but Storm Harbour has shown itself to be unreliable. in its loyalties.
It just won't do, will it? Even more reason to establish something of a hub of security, to facilitate the free movement of materials. As someone in your position, would I be right in thinking you would, by the laws that be able to give assent to certain writs, entitlements to certain trading and territory?
There are many pressures upon that, but I'm sure I might have some sway or influence.
That's very good to hear. We can talk more of it later, though. This, Solara, is your moment you've been waiting for.
It's our moment, Arvis. We did it.
Weez was only there for the ride, Alara. We'd be lost without you.
Others may spin whatever story they do, but I know that it was you. And the others.
Too kind, mate. You're far too kind.
Lara is going to make a beeline for Quan after this conversation. Quan, a moment, please.
Of course. Is everything okay? That was a fantastic speech. Well done.
Thank you. You all look incredible. I'm so very grateful to have had your allyship and company for the past months. Honestly, I was just telling Arvis, everyone else may spin whatever tale they want, but I know who defeated Razor really, and I'm glad I chose right.
Well, I'm glad that you chose us. I couldn't have asked for a more capable and honorable group of people.
And if you'll allow me once more, I'd like to choose right again. I'm going to need people around me who are stronger, wiser, kinder than I could ever imagine, and I can't imagine anybody I'd rather have advising me and there with me than you, Quan. And she attempts to reach out and holds your hand while making the...
Quan... Okay, if she's gonna reach for Quan's hand, Quan is gonna sharply inhale and snatch his hand away. Given that he doesn't want to burn her.
Okay, she's kind of looks slightly confused and hurt, and just seems to be waiting for your response. At this point, by the way, you haven't told Inara obviously what's going on in any of your travels, I'm assuming, so she doesn't know. As she's just said that, tried to reach behind you, snapped away. What do you say to her?
I'm sorry, Alara. That was rather rude of me. I'm not well. I wouldn't want to harm you. But
make a persuasion check.
A persuasion check, you say? I'm very persuasive. Okay. That is a 19.
Yeah, no, you should have told me. Is there anything I can do? Any resources at your disposal? What do you need?
I appreciate that, Alora. I do need to... Well, I need Casimir and Mercy, Pod. I need everyone's help to try and undo what was done during our travels, and I hope you don't take it personally that I cannot stay here.
Kind of think is that necessity or choice?
Well, of course it is necessity, but I'm afraid to say I would not choose to stay here.
I think I don't know if I deserve it, but I'd like to know why.
You are a wonderful, beautiful, extremely capable woman. You have to understand, I cannot remember anything of my past, and I must find that. Bran said that I have family, and I need to know, and I cannot make promises that I don't know if I can keep. I'm sorry, Alara.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
We just saw a girl's heartbreak on national television.
Oh.
This is really hard to listen to.
That's 22.
Oh my gosh.
I struggle to, but I understand, and I know, faced with a similar position, I too would want answers. But should you find what you're seeking, should you get the answers, I hope returning here would always be an option for you. I would never believe myself wiser or kinder than you. And if not your company, then perhaps your counsel would always be welcomed.
Thank you, Alara. That it means a lot. I will, of course, come to visit should we journey back in the area, but as I said, I cannot promise that I will come back.
And I hope I rule in a way that makes you want to.
Well, I have every confidence that you will.
Thank you, Quan. This has meant a lot to me. Slightly awkwardly, Lara will walk away. To talk to Atlas, presumably, about the fate of his people.
I can read lips.
Odd. You were approached.
Keep in mind that before this, Pod will have just walked up to the the nearest group of people who are already having a conversation. And
Yeah.
upon approaching them, not even just try and blend in, as you do when you're trying to join a group of people. And he just kind of walks up to them confidently and just starts talking about the adventure, just a little bit we're good friends with Alara. We were on our team. And then just on and on, just not just adding random anecdotes, slightly dominating the conversation. Just it's a bit awkward for everybody involved, but people just don't.
Fair enough.
feel like
One by
it's
one,
enough
they
to
kind
do.
of filter away,
They
awkwardly
do, but
making their
whoever's
excuses.
left is like trapped. Like they.
No,
they
no, no.
have to
So
make proper
what is left is
excuses.
Viceroy Jarvis Fairwind of the Credits Federation, who seemed intently listening to every word you say.
Has he introduced it? No, I'm assuming at no point.
No, no, he hasn't said hi yet. You haven't
Oh,
asked.
okay,
You just-
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
Viceroy's listening to. Yeah,
At
Viceroy's
some
listening
point,
to the
probably in the
story.
next half an hour, you pause for a single second. Tell me, what brings a bubble so far east?
Same thing that pulls anyone to the front, you know. Being outside the village, we go on like little pilgrimages almost. Potter's not very
which
convinced liar. He
village?
seems a little uncomfortable with this
So he asked you which village?
Thugaloom. You probably never heard of it, but it's a small village.
Oh no, I have certainly.
Oh, you have? That's
Yes.
surprising. Not many people have heard of
We do a
it.
lot of business there, actually.
He doesn't bristle, but he looks a little kind of like, you're one of those. I won't say outsider because that always sounds rude, but outsider.
Yes, certainly you could describe me as an outsider to Thoraloom, but I hear it's been very profitable for the denizens.
Oh,
That's what my reports tell me, anyway.
You could say that it's been somewhat.
So you
I
left.
personally haven't, but you know.
How
I
come you
did, yes.
left?
Looks slightly awkward, almost like he wants to disengage the conversation. It's very rare.
Yeah,
Never looks
yeah,
like,
no,
never looks like that. You know, I just wanted to stretch my legs and get to see what the world was like outside of
You said your name was
I spent a long
Pod,
time there,
right?
you know, about it is, yes.
Our main contact was Colleen. Do you know her?
I may know her, yes. She was
Would she know you?
was
I
a
want to
neighbour.
regale her with stories of how well you've done.
She would potentially maybe have heard of me. I don't. It's not a small village. Everyone knows everyone. You know. It's
Yes, I've heard.
special.
Yes.
She was Yeah.
Tell me,
I mean,
you're friends with Alara, correct?
Yes. Yes. He kind of perks up a little bit now that the subject feels like it's being changed.
What is your opinion of Alara?
Fantastic, brilliant leader. Great orator. Brave.
Do you feel she is somebody who feels responsible to those who have aided her in the past?
You'd have to ask her, but you know, quite.
I'm
potentially,
asking
yeah.
you.
I mean, you can ask me, but I'm not her, so I don't know how she feels. But I
No,
can
but
ask before you.
you must have an opinion. Alara
I
seems
mean,
someone
she's
who,
a
if you
very
reminded her
honest-
of a debt, she'd feel responsible for paying it back.
Oh, she has debts. Oh, well, that's awkward. I would never
Almost
try and have
certainly.
debts.
We
It's
financed this whole operation.
awkward. Oh, you did you? Oh, I see. That's very generous of you. I'm sure it is for truly
Oh,
altruistic
nothing's
reasons.
generous. I hope significant payback.
Well, I'm probably not the right person to ask about that one. I am
No, but you're Lara's friend,
famously
are you not?
quite bad with money. I know, but I'm not the person to ask about money. I don't really do money.
I'm not asking about money. I'm asking for a sense of responsibility, which I think you have, do you not?
Oh yeah, I have responsibility.
Exactly.
Some sort of responsibility. Often,
Lara shares that, does she not?
she has more responsibility because she's the one in charge.
Wonderful. Well, where are you
Kinda
going to go
shifts
now?
his weight a little bit. Where am I? What?
Where are you going to go now?
Wherever and he kind of like looks around if there's anyone recognize me. Wherever they're going, you know. I guess I thought I would tag along with them for a little bit. I also, you know, I need to sort out one of my friends. He's got a.
I'd like to make you an offer.
And oh yeah, an offer, yes.
You know what Residium is, don't you?
I am unfortunately aware of what Residium is, yes.
If you see any of it, I'd like you to report it to somebody to me in my organization. We made your village rich, after all.
Sure,
We're
you know
friends,
what? You can have it
tangentially.
All the Residium, you can have it all. It's great
Yes.
stuff, you know.
You just need to let me or mine know.
You know what, sir? If you want your Residium, you can have all the Residium. I don't have any need for it, so you can.
No.
wasn't
I know
going
where
to-
some of it is, but you're going to travel, aren't you? Consider this an offer. If you were to bring anyone within me or my organization information, we'd pay you handsomely. Your people have done well by us in the past.
I will let Arvis know. I'm sure he'll be really interested to understand about your business proposition. But I will also.
Who's Arvis?
He's a small rat fella.
Oh, can you smell it out?
He's generally quite good at smelling.
Is he your
most things.
servant?
He's no. We're like teammates. But he's good at like finding powder and stuff. He likes that kind of stuff. He's like sniffling around for things like that. Like probably Residium. Probably knows what Residium smells like. He's probably be quite good at finding Residium.
Keep me in mind, please.
Anytime, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes,
I'm
I'll give you a
quite
best
thirsty.
Italian.
Yeah, if you but if you forget, don't worry. It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal if you forget. But if you, yeah, I'm gonna go look for some more drink because I'm really thirsty. He says with his.
Lovely
his cup
speaking
full,
to
like,
you.
mostly
I've enjoyed
full.
your stories. Yeah.
You too, sir. Mr. Federation Man. It was a great honor, and thank you for the money and all that.
Okay. Before I interject with the next bit of roleplay, anybody else talking to anyone at the party?
Well, I've been sent on a mission by Atlas.
Pot appears scared to talk to people for a little bit.
Yeah, that dude was bad vibes. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yike.
Coming in hard.
Right.
You think you're his friend? What do you mean?
No one likes Kareem.
He doesn't know he's wrong.
Go around
Everybody's
Kareem.
pod's friends. Everybody's pod's friends.
I've been sent on a mission.
Yep.
So he looks annoyed at doing this. He like gets a few steps over to Bazul, huffs, turns away, goes back, does it a few times, angrily grabs another flute of champagne, and gets himself together, kind of slides on and sits on the table next to where Bazul is sat drinking by himself, being a miserable little toe rag.
Azul has
opens-
several glasses in front of him
Yeah.
at this point.
He's going to flick one over with his finger and say, "Hello, my favourite brooding tin can. Do you know, I normally find your grumpiness quite endearing, but I'm not sure that's all it is today. What's wrong with you?"
My brother's coming for the coronation.
Your brother's coming. The one you're to fight in the tournament.
The very same.
What do you mean? Well, is he a delegate?
In a sense.
You don't
I'm so over his blood.
You don't mean... I mean, Kazim is smart, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't mean... You don't mean he's an Archon, do you?
There's no response, but that speaks volumes in of itself.
Oh. Oh dear. Well, you can't fight him. At Lara's coronation.
I wasn't planning on it.
Promise me, no fighting.
For at least several more months. He's gonna turn up. I'm sure he's going to impress all of you. I need to leave. I can't be here for the coronation.
Look, Thor. There's
He takes another drink.
Hey, stop it. There's plenty for us to feel shit about. Mark you me, you have your things, I have mine. I haven't forgotten what I saw in Razor's blood magic room. But what we have in common is we need to get stronger. You won't do that by next week, so whatever he throws at you, fuck it. Listen, move on. Straighten your back, look him in the eye, and shrug. Do the same now. Look me in the eye, tell me you're going to enjoy tonight. You've gotten stronger since we met. I make you stronger, you make me stronger. We can celebrate that.
I have been dreaming of you.
Oh, I prefer this conversation. Sorry, that wasn't the timing. Sensitivity isn't my strong point, go on.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
The figure in black visits me, commands me, tells me I'll become strong if it does what it says.
And
If it wasn't for the apparition of my brother, I'd be ignoring it, but quite now it seems tempting.
should I ask what it's telling you, or am I going to end up dead?
It's not telling me to kill you, Casimir. It doesn't mention you.
Good, because you
I only
wouldn't be
know
able
of the
to.
connection because you told me.
What is it telling you to do then?
It wants me to travel to the Sunken Isles. You know them as an area north of Sacramar.
In
North of
Sacramar?
Sacramar.
What would I know is there?
Relics of a bygone era, ancient ruins.
Relics of a bygone era, ancient ruins. It wants you to find something there, or what?
It's guiding me there. I
Interesting.
don't know why.
Very
It
interesting.
hasn't reappeared to you.
No.
Hmm.
No, I feel quite left out, actually. Maybe I'll come with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I try to eavesdrop on this conversation, given that after my dream I would have been keeping a very close eye on
Yes,
Rizal?
you may well do.
Do I need to roll?
Fizzle's not trying to be quiet, but I will say if you want to be unnoticed nearby, I will say you can make a perception check to see whether or not you are unnoticed. Eavesdropping.
Okay. That is a 19.
You are unnoticed, but you do hear everything, so interject as you feel fit.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, look, that dream, that figure, it was terrifying. I'll brook no debate on that one. I'm not someone who is afraid, ever, but he did scare me. Of course he did. Is it that you're being told to do this that worries you, or is it you think you might not want to? I mean, I understand the drinking. If I thought High Praetor Ptolemy was coming next week, I'd probably be right here with you.
Don't like the Praetor.
No, he's my target. You're after an Archon, and I'm after the head of state, so...
Only the head of state.
Come on, it's not a bad target, is it? It's the head of the Cold
No, but
Order. I'll have to kill
who
so
else?
many of his people. I'm
You
not
should
telling
speak
me.
to.
Huh?
You should speak to Caleb about who's coming.
You're actually quite right. I should.
He's
Very-
not.
Okay. You know who is.
I believe a representative is coming from Sacramar.
That begs the question, do I show my face or do I hide it? It's funny, I've always had a dream of doing something like this. And he kind of like gestures at the silly outfit and the champagne glass in his hand. He just sort of says, being strong enough that being like this is safe. Drinking. I never drink. Yeah, I am. Wearing silly clothes, having fun, that I'm untouchable enough I can let my guard down. But more than any of that, it's just nice to tell people that my name is Casimir Crossley and not one of my 50 aliases. No, I'm being charming.
Ivor Montague.
Yeah, don't say that. Please don't call me that. A bit weird.
Hmm.
It's nice to be charming with my own smile for once. And I'm wondering if I might just do that at the coronation. Of course, it might cause no end of trouble for my friends, but maybe
Good
I
luck.
just want to do something for myself. Not that I ever don't do things for myself. Let's not fuck up Ilara's coronation.
No, it's not. I certainly won't.
Are you going to cheer up?
I'll try, and grabs another drink.
No. Like that. Stand up. Come on. I'm gonna grab him, make him stand up, and make him enjoy the evening.
We'll come back to what exactly Fizul does. Anything else anybody wants to do? We're at the time.
Just thought it was worth just checking if there was anyone who looked rather wealthy and particularly careless.
They all look wealthy. This is only a rich person party.
Just careless.
This is a lockdown at Boris Johnson's party.
Yeah,
My favorite
just like
outpost.
anybody who's like anyone any of the rich folk looking quite drunk.
Progressively throughout the evening, yeah.
Oh,
Loki, what do you
Any
want? Sorry.
who seem like they may have disadvantage on a perception check.
Well, it depends whether or not you want to beat them in a game of chance, depending on who you've given the dice to. But also, you can definitely try to steal from them, Arvis.
Whoa, why would you assume that's what I was trying to do? Come on. Whoa,
Why would I assume that?
Whoa. Hey, I'm just asking, like anybody like looking a bit, like fucking.
You can definitely make some. You can definitely make some crime rolls for me based on the crime roll previously. Yeah.
Cool. I don't want to go into it if there aren't any, young and sick lambs for the taking.
There probably are. Some people getting overzealous.
Okay. Well, is that? If I want to roll crime rolls, I don't want to go into it by force. I want to like stake it out, case it out. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll deal with this afterwards. I'll have to look into the roll tables. But I will send you some stuff to do between sessions. So, Quan. As Casimir and Casimir and Fazul stand up. Fazul kind of looks slightly unsteady on his feet. Marches forward. Ilara is talking to Atlas. Atlas. What would you be advocating for your people?
Yeah, so first, I think honors are very good speech, and if I were to pick anyone, it would be you over Malik every day of the year. So
I'm very grateful, Atlas, and I think it's important to understand that you and Goat's people, there aren't many of you left, but anything I do should be first and foremost counseled by you. Your way of life must be preserved and understood and incorporated into anything we do.
I appreciate it, and I understand that you're taking stewardship of the Stormlands now, and given some of the plans that I overheard that Malik was doing around Residuum, I'm sure, perhaps with the Gale Feather Enclave's abilities, as well as my tribes to navigate the mountains, there could be some sort of cut-in regards to living materials or monetary payments for helping your people to sustainably extract it from the land.
Make a persuasion roll.
Uh-huh. I am really bad at them.
You may have advantage based on what is happening before you roll.
Okay, I will roll a second one. 14.
14, nice. Oh, I understand. Some kind of social dividend, some understanding that those profits, whatever they are, must be redistributed. I think that's paramount. I agree.
I would also like one or potentially two members of the Galefeather Enclave sitting on whatever council you have advising you in order to help.
Would you not be one of
ease
them?
Negotiations. I would not be. I am less inclined in that way. Although I know someone very influential in the clan by the name of Serial Dawnbearer.
I would value your recommendations if you could give them. And I absolutely agree. They should sit on whatever advisory council, whatever I set up. I want the input of you and yours.
I appreciate it. I'll I don't want to speak for everyone in the Galefeather Enclave, but I'm sure that we're happy with working together in this partnership, and I'm aware that the Whirlwind Lantern is currently still in the possession of the party. There would be some expectations as to have that returned to the guarding of
most
Galefeather Enclave.
Most certainly. I'll speak to them.
Thank you, Alara. I'll put my hand on her shoulder and just say, "You'll make a good ruler. I believe in you."
Only the passage of time will show that. The road to Asmodeus is paved with good intentions.
Nice.
So at that point, Fazul kind of, Fazul kind of grabs a drink and absentmindedly just kind of pushes slightly to the side and knocks a server over.
Stop. Where are you going?
He kind of, pushes somebody over and, sorry. Quan, you freeze. You've seen this before. You know what's about to happen. As Fazul, with Casimir slightly in tow, protesting behind, falls over and slams his arm around Alara, kind of slightly crushing Atlas's hand. Alara, I've got something I've got to say to you. Alara kind of looks slightly bemused and confused and a bit annoyed as Fazul kind of rips her around and faces her towards everyone. Everyone! It's important to understand that the only hierarchy that really matters is strength, and we proved that. Alara here must be stronger.
Am I getting bad vibes off of this?
Yeah.
Pretty bad ones?
Not bad ones. He's not going to do anything. He's not about to attack her, but he is like, this is insulting and slightly disrespectful. As you will see, as he whips around Alara and says, Alara may be wise, and I've grounded to get rid of respect, but you need to surround yourself with a strong Alara. Like you've done on this mission. With everyone else here, they're all gunning for you. I've seen it. I know what happens. You need those who can protect you, and at this point, he draws and whips out his sword and his axe, whips it towards the center and kind of points it upwards.
Okay, as soon as Fazul takes out his axe next to Alara after crushing her in his arm, Quan is gonna walk up to Fazul and immediately shove him off Alara and say,
"Yeah, can I help? I wanna give.
You can absolutely
use a help.
Yeah,
I'll use a help.
You both can help.
Quan advantage.
Yep. Quan's Fazul's gonna roll. That's a roll. Got the dice.
Okay.
Wait 1 second, Jamie.
That's an 18.
Fazul gets an
Oh.
8.
Fazul gets an 8. Okay. Yeah. Fazul is like Casimir. Fazul is trashed. You can see that.
He just folds his arms. So embarrassing. He looks genuinely very concerned.
Sorry. What did Fazul get? Sorry, what did you get? Sorry.
18.
The bond. 18. Yeah, you and Atlas pull him off. You go, oh, look, I'm just saying, rulers need to be strong. That's what happens, and you gotta take him off his leg. So give me that back. Drags it. You're both in charge, like holding up this thing. Fazul is in both of your arms. You can choose what to do.
I don't think anyone wants to hear what you have to say, Fazul, especially in your state. I think it's disgusting behavior for you to talk to Alara after everything that you've done and how little you've achieved.
Fazul looks up at you and look like slightly held back. He goes, Rom's right about you. There's something you're not telling us. How are you this strong? It looks over at Casimir, almost for confirmation, as like, there's something weird here, right?
He kind of sighs and says, I don't disagree, but I also don't think this is quite the way to express it, nor what I meant by have fun.
What's his axe hand? What have you done with it?
I guess if is he grappled by us, I will. Yeah, I guess I'm going to attempt to pull his sword off of him, or
with your
drag
roll, I'll
him
let you take
outside.
it if you want, but he will want it back.
Yeah, I'll take it and be like, son, you've had more to drink than you can handle. How about we get you some air? You can have your sword back outside.
It takes a second. As that happens, Elara just looks slightly perplexed and a bit shaken, and probably moves over slightly towards Casimir and Pardon Mercy, a bit away from, not away from you, got an Arvis, but away from you guys, away towards himself, seeing. Just fine. I need some air. Looks at Quan to release him.
And maybe you should consider talking about strength, given how pathetic you are.
Okay. Roll an intimidation check.
He's saying this quite quietly, by the way.
That's fine, you can make
it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anyone else can hear. Sorry, what am I rolling?
Intimidation check.
Okay. That's a 10.
He looks up at you, glowering for a second. There's something. That's why you're like this. I know it. It's told me you were different.
What?
You don't belong here.
Can we hear that?
No, this is between these two.
I don't belong where?
Here. Look,
Forgive me if I'm not going to believe the insane ramblings of a man who thinks it's appropriate to act in this way at a party.
He attempts to, not with his axe, but get 3 of Quan and Alice, if you let him.
No.
No, I mean, my idea was going to be to hold on to him and kind of take him.
If you're going to drag him out, he fails the roll, so you can drag him out, but Quan will need to let go of him.
No.
No?
He's still holding onto his wrist.
Yeah, that's fine. You can,
Okay.
Let me go.
Let him go. What are you trying to prove? He's just gonna fold his arms and say he's embarrassed himself enough already. Don't hold him captive.
I guess he completely ignores Casimir and he's kind of leans in a bit closer to Fazul and says, "Don't think I haven't noticed that you're trying to influence Casimir into whatever little dirty scheme you're planning. I won't allow that to happen. In fact, I recently swore an oath to make sure that I shouldn't witness such a thing, so I hope you don't think..."
Nothing with Casimir.
I don't need to roll. Quan just does not believe
Yeah,
a
that's
word
fine.
he's saying. Yeah. And at that, Quan just kind of like pushes his arm away.
Yeah, fair enough. Atlas, you can drag him outside.
I'll take him outside. I'll grab a pitcher of water as I go, and yeah, I'll just go through some big open doors. I'll hand him his sword and some water, and I'll just be like, "You should drink this."
Kind of grabs it off you and starts like downing it. Casimir, how do you react to this? You want to talk to Quan?
He actually looks quite
no-
upset, I think. And I think, wait, Atlas has left, right?
Yeah.
He's just gonna loudly say to the air, "For fuck's sake, I told Atlas that I always make him act out or act worse. And what happened? I talked to him. I thought I did a great job. I thought he seemed in much better spirits. And what does he do? He stands up, acts like a fucking idiot. Why do I bother? This is why I'm never nice. Doesn't matter."
The rest of you hear Casimir say that quite loudly. And those of you who have been noticing, Mercy has followed them outside as well. Quan, as satisfied as you may be, as much as you think of that, for a single moment, you feel an intense sense that you've lived this before.
Like, this exact moment has happened to me with
No.
Fazul.
Deviations, but you've felt this, you've dealt with this, you've seen Fazul act this way, despite never having met him before than a couple of months ago, and never seen him at a party before. Outside.
What I
Atlas.
will say actually,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Quan, if Casimir looked different in your dream, kind of eerily, the way he's dressed tonight almost looks paler. You've kind of noticed him getting paler throughout the Stormlands. The way his hair's kind of longer and falling differently now. It's kind of like from the day you met him, it's starting to trend towards that dream you had, I think. No further addendums, Your Honor.
Everyone, very quickly, as you do at a party when something often weird happens, kind of goes quickly back to talking a lot sense. But Atlas, if there's anything you guys want to talk about inside, let me know now. Otherwise, we're going to go to Atlas, Fazul, Mercy outside. Atlas, you see Fazul dunk it over his head and ask for his axe back.
Yeah.
that back, please.
Yeah. Nice blade.
Thank you. Hands it back over his thing and says, "I'm right. I am right. Ilara is going to be used. You know that."
Remains to be seen.
Turns around and you both see Mercy exit. Dressed as an elf at the moment. Or appearing as an elf.
I think after a little while I would come out And I have some sass, but I don't know what order this would happen.
That's fine. We'll do Mercy first.
Mhm.
Mercy. You come out as Azul is slightly getting back to himself, but also dunking water and drinking it, and clearly not quite together. Smashed is the term I would use.
Yeah. So I think as they leave, their form. Well, actually, I suppose they're wearing their fancy ball gown. So okay, they retain their form. But she just walks up to the pair of them and says obviously to Fazul, "So, you say Quan is not a native of the realm?"
How did you hear that?
I hear many things. Hearing, listening, easy to do when you've not had half a bucket.
I have dreams, and in those dreams, I'm somewhere else. I feel something else. And Quan's there. He's the only one that the voice tells me not to trust. Casimir's there too.
Go on. What else does it tell you?
I fight, I train. It tells me to go to the Sunken Isles, that I'll find what I seek there.
What does it tell
Quan
you?
will try to stop me. And I can't let him.
Why?
I don't know.
What's in the
He's
Sunken
going
Isles?
to stop Casimir and I being what we were meant to be.
What were you
It's
meant to
chosen
be?
me. It has some business with Casimir.
What chose you?
I don't know. But it's stronger than anything I've ever faced. And I'm going to gain power from it.
You said to Quan, you're not from Lakai.
It told me.
How could it know this?
I don't know.
What else did it say?
Nothing. I'll say Casimir can reappear at this point.
Oh, look. It's the guilty party and the entourage. What are we talking about? Are we dressing him down, or... You all look very conspiratorial.
Talking about my dreams and where I need to go.
Right. So we're sharing
Well, I
now.
think-
He looks like quite uncomfortable at the fact that Mercy and Atlas know.
I've just got to go say goodnight to Jess. Give me 2 seconds. You guys can chat about what's happening, or maybe roleplay inside. Pod, what's happening?
I'm so stressed, guys.
Oh, what's happening? Sounds like some serious shit. Pod's still reminiscing on his interaction with Mr. Sir, whose name is.
What was going on with that dude? He was like super intense.
He's
He
trying
was
to...
like, yeah, tell me
He was
more.
also-
What do you think about Alara? Does she like repaying her debts? Oh, just tell me how much she loves repaying her debts.
I don't know if he
God.
chose the
Tell me
best
to squeal when she does it.
or... It's like either the best or the worst target, right? Because Pod will tell you shit. It might just be completely inane and meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
She
I
have a
found out a
strong
bunch
sense
of stuff.
responsibility.
I'll dish the dirt later a bit.
Ooh, nice. I love that.
Sorry, I'm back. Hello. Again, Jarvis Fairwind, as is his name, spoke to Pod, or Pod more to the point, spoke to the group that he was part of for reasons unknown. Back outside. Casimir. We will finish in the next 10 minutes or so, just aware of the time.
So
Mercy would just leave. She would say something cursory, and then sort of as Casimir arrives, basically, just FYI. So, like,
as
I hope you sober up, and then see you inside.
after Mercy's left, I suppose it's just gonna. I'm surprised you told them so readily.
He knew already. Sorry, she knew already. I don't know how.
No, I don't either.
You keep strange company.
You're one to talk, Mr. Following Voices to the Sunken Isles. Look, I don't think you're wrong.
You've been there. If it told you to do something, how would you have reacted?
Oh,
Told you you're not strong enough, right? That's what you said.
And it was right. I felt that it was quite compellingly right, and yeah, knew me better than I knew myself.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. I'm just look. It is really fucking annoying that somehow the paladin just takes in enough energy to vaporize Abaddon. It's very frustrating. I have a torturous relationship with blood magic. It ruined my life. So watching someone just take that and walk it off is quite painful and humiliating, I shall say that much. But he's going to die if I can't fix it. And I would like to fix it, both to be the one who did that, and to stroke my own ego, but also because I don't particularly want harm to befall him. And that's not a feeling unique to Quan. I wasn't talking to you in there because... Look, I don't like being soft. I don't think you like me being soft. I don't particularly like caring for other people's well-being, so I'm going to take the opposite approach. Stop sulking. Sulking is pathetic. It's weak behaviour. Neither of us want that for you. Mr. Dream doesn't want that for you. You are better than this. Work harder. Shit happens. Go to the Sunken Isles. I might even come. Like I said, I feel left out. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Don't take it out on Alara. Don't take it out on Juan.
I'm not taking it out on anyone. I'm telling someone some hard truths.
Yeah, but don't...
Strength is the only hierarchy that makes sense.
Well, yes, it does. It's true. You're not... Like I said, you're not wrong. I think you're right. I do think you're right. Alara is weak. She will be manipulated. I will probably manipulate her. In fact, I have several plans to do so. I'm going to tell her I'm going to do it, but, you know, she's in the firing line. She's horrendously underqualified. But I also think she'll be quite a good ruler. I don't think you need to worry about her. And I don't think she needs your comments either. Worry about yourself. Worry about me if you so fit. See fit. Leave the girl alone. And leave the paladin to his potential demise, which I shall work to avoid.
We'll have this kind of
Let's make a
scary music
deal.
in the background of this.
Yeah, the
You find
devil's
out what-
strength.
Yeah. If you find out what his secret is, how he's capable of doing this, I'll tell you what I find in the Sunken Isles.
I'm going to find out what you find out in the Sunken Isles. Don't think you're going there without me at least knowing what you're doing. By the way... No, never mind. Don't think you're special in the eyes
that's-
of the dream thing.
So that's a no.
Think of something better. I'll already know what you've suggested, so I want something else.
Thinks for a second. Jamie needs to think for a second.
I'm sat on a nearby like
Yeah,
bench.
yeah. Atlas is ridding
I've-
all of this.
I'm just sat
Atlas,
on a
we'll
bench.
get to Atlas.
I found like some ice cream. And just like,
Occasionally he's like, Atlas, you can tell me he's stupid as well if you want.
Ice cream's so good.
Don't mind me. Ice
Don't
cream's so
want us
good.
to be allies.
Gang bang.
Competition again.
Yes, I like competition. Let's make it competition. Whatever you think you're doing with the dream thing, you're not special and you're not alone in that one.
I know I'm not.
It seems like it's pitting us against each other in the dreams. So let's make it official. We did this before.
It's telling me
Laser.
that you and I should work together against him. That's what I told you.
Yet it's having you beat the shit out of me in dreams. I'd say that's mixed messages.
Maybe.
Compete for its esteem with me. May the best man win.
Once again, it's going to be me.
I love this competition. This is my favourite thing about us. Don't tell
protect
people
him.
about it.
Don't protect him.
The paladin. I'll do whatever I want. Don't tell me what to do.
Then you'll be in my way.
Just lost someone.
There goes Ben. Oh no, Sai's in charge now. Sai, what happens?
Azul fucking keels over and dies of a heart attack.
Fair enough. Okay. Don't
Ye-
protect him.
I'll be in your way. Rest assured, I won't just be in your way. I'll be in front of you. Atop you. Always.
There's all slightly grudging respect, but at this point, sheath his axe and believes it's probably time to retire for the evening. Drunk as he is.
I'm gonna.
Atlas.
I'm just gonna. I went inside and I grabbed one of the ceremonial guards' headpieces. I'm gonna pass it to Vizul as like a bucket. Might need this.
Grabs it off you. However, when you turn around, Atlas, as Casimir looks over as Fazul leaves, before huffily turning back into the party, I imagine. Casimir?
Mm.
Yeah. As you go to pan back, the door doesn't open. And to your side, it's a similar platinum dragonborn. What do you think of the new ruler?
I think she is exceedingly kind and wise enough to surround herself with people who know better, where she does not.
Who are you going to nominate?
Well, call it nepotism, but I think my wife's pretty amazing.
Hmm. And
I think either goat or goat's recommendation. I feel that the feather, the enclave should be represented equally. And goat has proved themselves to be reliable.
I understand. I hope that they advocate in the way that's needed. I will watch them both. But
Thank you.
Atlas, it's time.
Just 1 second, since Casimir is the only person out there. Is Casimir seeing any of this at all?
No.
I guess
Okay.
he's like several steps into walking into the party.
Mm. I'll just call out to Casimir. And
Yep.
Casimir,
Atlas?
I'll. I'm afraid I'll be turning in for the night as well, I think.
Oh, it's not
I'll
spoiled your
produce-
fun too.
No, I do love the drama. I will produce a kind of like a smallish box from inside my kill and hand it to you with a letter.
What's this?
This is something I made for everyone. Hopefully something to remember me by.
Are you leaving?
Could say that. It's been a real blast. I'm gonna say when I first encountered you all, I was so tired. I was so alone. But you've helped me get back everything. You and everyone else. And I'll just look over my shoulder and nod.
The Dragon Ball Leap Heavy TV nods as well.
No, you helped us just as much. Your tone is a little strange to me, Atlas. We're not talking about
Kaz,
leaving to see your family, are you?
unfortunately not. Casimir. I believe in you. I believe in all of you.
Thank you. For what it's worth, you've been truly excellent. You're a testament to your wife and your child as much as they are to you. Honestly, it has been an honor.
See, you can be nice.
I only regret I can't do anything to... Should be my gestures at Atlas's zombie body. Should be something I could do something about, but it's not. I'm sorry for that.
Don't be. This death is my choice. Bahamut. I think I'm ready.
It's your choice.
Um,
Then I leave it with you. It's gonna take the box, and he doesn't have pockets, and that's it's gonna hold.
You see, Atlas turns around and outstretches from seemingly nowhere, from kind of the darkness behind him, from his shadow, huge platinum wings, leathery wings, stretch out and envelop Atlas. And once they kind of disappear, Atlas has vanished.
So I just see him fade away.
You see the wings enclose around him and then open, and he's gone.
I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye.
He'll look at the spot where Atlas stood and just sort of shake his head, tilt his head up. Definitely not crying, he would never. Swallow. Maybe the odd tear or two. Sign into the party and maybe... I don't know, I guess it depends who everyone is. If it looks like they have a quiet moment, maybe he would...
Well, on that, Atlas can say a quiet goodbye in the party's head, should you choose, if you want to say a goodbye message to people.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, Kazmi, they will know when you come
Okay.
to them.
Mhm.
As you re-enter, those of you who have that will have the somber expression on your face, and you'll know that they know. So anyway, Atlas, sorry.
Yeah, I guess my most recent one is Mercy. Thank you for your wisdom and showing me that vision. I think that truly set me at peace in the end. Pod, thank you for saying you look after my family. And I think they'll be okay, but maybe if you can, keep in touch occasionally. I kind of talked a big game about you.
Pod would send a very cheery response back, like very nonchalant, being like, "Well, good luck in your next endeavor. I'm sure it'll be just as fun as the current one." And, yeah, I'll send a couple of messages. I'll come see them.
Kwan, thank you for your reliability. You helped me understand my place and always gave me the confidence to continue. I know you'll be fine, and you'll find yourself and who you are. But whoever you turn out to be, you are amazing. And then one to Luke. Thank you, Luke, for your gesture of
Arvis.
goodwill. Arvis. Thank you, Arvis, for your gesture of goodwill. Your cunnings and practicality were grating at times, but other times a sort of delight to see you at work. Thank you.
Don't worry about it, mate.
Yeah, and I'll send you what's in the notes, Casimir, as well as send you all the items in the box before next session.
I guess he would just quietly make his way around the party and give people the things. And for someone who started out enjoying the night and being in the best mood you've ever seen him, there is no sparkle in his eyes at this point. Distributes these things.
Amarathiel catch up Casimir's sad face, and she, with a broad smile, will take Casimir's hand and say, "Be merry and cheerful once again. Our friend is with the next life. Greater is that on the other side. We have lost a friend, but he has gained so much.
Isn't it funny what
Be glad for this."
people choose to do? No accounting for taste, really. Sort of takes his hand back from Mercy. Not forcefully, but he clearly can't understand.
He kind of smiles. One day you will get it.
I don't want to. Still. Turn away and resume seeing everyone. Quan and Pod and find them wherever they happen to be.
Okay.
Milling about.
Anything else any of you want to say before wrapping up? So, bear in mind the time. Thank you all for staying a bit later. Appreciate it. 20 to midnight. And the wrap-up party complete. You can all ponder the events, ponder what has happened, as you will enjoy the rest of Ilara's positive party. Sad that none of that Atlas is leaving. Thank you very much for the last couple of months. We appreciate it very much. It's been a pleasure to play
It's
with you.
been so fun playing with you guys. You've been fucking amazing to play with. It's been great.
We're gonna miss you.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you so much.
I'm gonna miss
Yeah.
you guys too. It's been so fun playing with you guys.
That. Yeah, you'll be here for like 3 sessions. 3 months later.
Yeah, it's right. I'll be reanimated for the final fight, and I'll come back.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll do it.
As you all look forward to Ilara's coronation and the storylines that are without. As please check the storyline document to see what is currently missing. And Atlas has secured a future for his people and justice. Thank you very much, everybody. Catch you soon.
Cheers,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
No longer wishing, you're my lucky strike.